Hello, hello, hello. Guys, I have multiple pieces of good news and one piece of bad news, so we're just going to have to balance that out. We're just going to have to work through all that information together, like a family. Howdy. I'll open with the bad news. The bad news is that I have a little bit of a bug, by which I mean I'm a little sick. Unfortunately, that means that I've been coughing and clearing my throat a lot, wouldn't be much of an issue if I wasn't a live streamer, but being a live streamer, it is something of an issue. So I'm going to keep going through the stream for as long as I can. I think I'm going to do good, but if my throat ends up being a giant pain in the ass, then I'll leave soon. That's a cool ass shirt. This is actually an old shirt. I just never wore it on stream because I didn't think it looked right. I don't know, but I need to do laundry, so do you have something warm to drink? Don't worry, I've already drank tons of cum to warm my throat. It's totally okay. Actually, if you do have a sore throat, yes, I've been tested. If you do have a sore throat, the best thing that you can do is honey water or tea, like just a hot liquid. Honey helps because it has a natural salve effect. Yeah, honey and lemon. Yeah, exactly. Lemon does not have a natural salve effect, but it does help, I think, relax the muscles a little bit. Ginger can help. I haven't heard of garlic helping, but yeah. Anyway, there are a lot of things that you can do. There is good news, though, apart from all that. And first of all, I got a goddamn shamisen. Finally. I finally got a fucking shamisen, okay? A nice one, too. A weeb instrument. A weeb guitar. Look, guys, look. I've always wanted one, like, for ages, because anyone who knows me knows I am a bit of a weeb. And then I realized earlier today, I was like, I have money now. I could just buy it. I could just buy, like, a nice one, too, you know? Turns out the picks for those things. Does anyone in chat know the name for a pick to a shamisen? It's not rhetorical. I actually forget. It's called a, bocce. Or baki? Bocce, probably. Anyway, that thing costs as much as the goddamn shamisen. So yeah, hopefully, I'll be I'll be embarrassing myself on stream sometime soon, sometime in a while, because that shit has to ship from Japan. But yeah, anyway, you've heard the instrument before.
The song.
Here.
Like that. But more than
that shit. Basically, it's a samurai banjo. So I'm here for it. And yeah, it's a samurai banjo. So we'll give it a shot. Anyway, I look forward to embarrassing myself with that. And I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it a little bit on stream too, okay? So you guys can enjoy that. So hopefully that'll be nice. Oh God. Lamau, did you see Fuentes get cheers from Chuds at the rally today? What's this?
And against the giant corporations, and against the swamp, and the government, and the CIA, and the FBI, and the intelligence community, and it is a pretty big task ahead of us. There are a lot of them, and they wield much power. But I think to myself this: I have much confidence in knowing that God is on our side.
This is what I talk about co-opting good talent, okay? See, say you're a neo-Nazi like Nick Fuentes, you know? You're good talent for the Republicans. You can just go to their rallies, you know, you'll get lots of people watching. For me, I can't go to like a Democrat pro-Biden rally and start talking about seizing the means of production. The fuck is up with this, you know? That's not fair. Democrats need to work way, way better on that talent. Wait, cam is off when I switch? What do you mean? Oh, my camera's off. There we go. Don't know why that was off. Must have been doing something with it earlier. Anyway, yeah, I saw the Dylan Burns all gas, no brakes thing. Kayla Maupin won a 30-minute debunking of worker co-ops and anti-Chinese sentiment. Okay. Adam ruins Vosh. What the fuck are you people linking me?
Vosh. 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 Vosh.
Thank you, Adam Conover. I appreciate that. I assume that's some sort of like donate to say this word over and over again. So that's all good. Oh, Before we get started with the segments, I'm going to run through just a couple of donos because at the end of the last stream, thanks to the same throat, irritation that I'm experiencing right now, I wanted to head off and I didn't finish those donos. So let me get through a few of these, and then we're going to talk. The first thing we want to talk about, I want to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse's mom, okay? Not the first time I've talked about the mom of people I dislike in this stream. Probably not going to be the last, but might be the funniest. So hold on. Semi-Logan, Lacey, Purple Bear, Nero, Pluto. Thank you all so much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that, comrade. Thank you, Pluto. That's awfully kind of you. What Thy Psycho thanks the tier 2 sub. Velvet Zealot, we're going to see Crystal Ball on PragerU sometime in the next couple of years. Guaranteed, comrade. 100%. Dux, thanks to the tier 3 sub. Lacey Purple Bear with the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Comrade Roture with the tier 1 sub. Can't help him out, but good luck. Paulo Tavares, the 250 DOPS. First time seeing a Nosble in real life, I'm staying. Oh, no, you can't say that. Enderdax is in chat right now. And they're not a Nosble, I think. I don't know. General Disassembly, Luminia, and JCPP, thank you all so much for the $5. Here because of the David Pacman interview, here to learn. Oh, yeah, guys. I strongly encourage you to take a look at the interview that I did with David Pacman now that the full thing is up on YouTube. It's 30 minutes long, and I think it was actually a really, really great interview. I think I did a really good job. Here it is. Bosch explodes on socialism, Trump, Biden debating fascists. And I think it was a really, really great interview. I think I hit on my points really well, and at least judging by the comments below, I think I did a decent job representing a more radical perspective to an audience that is generally liberal. The Helpful Doge and Dick Punk, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $10. I really appreciate that, comrade. Utmost respect for the Trump whistleblower. Rand Paul named the whistleblower on the House floor. It's so well known, YouTube nukes any videos mentioning his name. What are we referring to? The Trump whistleblower? You mean for the Ukrainian shit? I'm not sure. It's probably a context thing. Insatiable Hunger, William Moore, thank you both very much for the $2. Ellie Zabeth and Geeky Trout, thank you both very much for the tier 1 sub. Charlemagne with the tier 2 sub, thank you. Nickel Kritish, Ski 13 and Ski 13 again, thank you all so much for the $5. And that's all the donuts we're going to do at the beginning of a stream, comrade, because I want to get some goddamn content. Wait, what is that? They think Bloomberg is a Maoist? Dude, they've been reading my theory. Breitbart thinks Bloomberg is a Maoist? Dude, they've read my Twitter thread. Martell, Mike Bloomberg is not a Democrat. He's a Maoist. Wait, I thought Democrats were Maoists. I don't know. Mike Bloomberg knows better. The former Republican mayor of New York City has launched a presidential campaign. Oh, wait, hold on. This is from the 20th of February. So they determined that he was a Maoist all the way back at the beginning of the year. And they've just been sitting on this information? That's crazy. That's enough of this bullshit. Move forward. Folks, so I was browsing my favorite subreddit, r/cringe, which, as you all know, is of course just screen caps of my face and segments from my stream, and I came across this, and it was really, really interesting. And I was going to say funny. That was the first word that I wanted, to come out the tip of my tongue. But I don't know, man. The thread is locked due to all the contentious discussion going on within. Kyle Rittenhouse's mother is saying she's going to sue Joe Biden. I actually saw the entirety of this Tucker Carlson conversation with Kyle Rittenhouse's mother. For those of you who don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse is the upstanding defender of Western civilization who illegally brandished a firearm that he had also acquired illegally, took it to another state, and then menaced people until inevitably conflict took place. Anyway, this is Kyle Rittenhouse's mother. And I'm going to be frank with this. Even though I find the contents of this interesting, I'm going to try to direct my commentary in a direction other than just making fun of the mom. So keep that in mind. If it feels like there are some obvious shots that I'm not taking, please keep that in mind.
You saw the Joe Biden for President campaign smear your son as a white supremacist. What was your reaction?
How dare him do that to my son? That's my son that he did that to. and I'm not going to back down from him. And he is not a white supremacist. He's not a racist. He's my son, and I know him, and he is none of that, what Joe Biden said.
So there's no.
So there are a lot of shots I could take here. I'm just going to chalk this up to nervousness. But I think there's actually a really interesting conversation underlying all of this. And it's, what do you do if a president-elect or a presidential candidate smears, like, your kid or something, you know? Like think about it for a second. Do we have any direct evidence she can't read the teleprompter? Yeah, and I'm going to attribute that to nervousness. But whatever the case may be, you know, we don't have any direct evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist, you know? Now, we can infer that from the fact that he went out of his way to go to a different state with an illegally brandished firearm to menace civil rights protesters. I can infer that he's probably a white supremacist. But, you know, we don't have a signed affidavit. So what do you do in a situation like this, you know, where Biden calls your, it reminds me a little bit of like the Bizarro World version of when Trump called that random old guy who was shoved to the ground by the police an Antifa dude. You know, remember that? Remember when that guy got knocked onto the ground and hit his head in the concrete and Trump was like, it was probably Antifa, probably a terrorist, I don't know. This feels like the Bizarro World version of that, where that was like a completely spurious and unjustified accusation that was done for no reason other than to protect the police. And this is like Kyle Rittenhouse killed people and was definitely at least within spitting distance of white supremacy, you know, optically. And like, so what do you do about this?
No, as far as I know, and we looked today, but I don't think there's any evidence at all that that's true. I don't think there's, you know, online evidence or video evidence showing your son endorsing extremist racial positions.
Keep in mind that for years, Tucker Carlson's top writer was a neo-Nazi who would brag to his neo-Nazi friends on neo-Nazi forums that he was sneaking neo-Nazi dogma into Tucker Carlson's script. So maybe this guy isn't the best identifier of what is and is not white supremacy.
Is there?
No, there isn't. Kyle, he's a caring young man. He went to Kenosha to help people. And yep. What Joe Biden did and showed my son's picture, his image, and labeled him as a white supremacist, I will take him down.
Oh.
Well, he's not the only one. I mean, the people around Biden have casually attacked very many people.
I just want to say, by the way, as somebody who's occasionally had conversations that play out exactly like the one that's going on between these two, you know, cadence-wise, I can't fathom how awkward Tucker Carlson must feel right now.
People with that label,
yes.
Which is a very serious thing to call someone, as you know, in this country. The FBI will investigate you for it. So it's not a small thing at all. Why do you think he did that?
Because to win the election.
Is this really the best picture they could have taken of him? Look at him. He looks like a cultist. He's like yelling in anger. He has his gun up. And the lights and people behind him look like people like with torches or something, you know? I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying like this picture doesn't look like the kind of picture you would want to put up if you were trying to frame this guy in a positive light. You know what I mean? You'd think you'd want to put up a picture of him like, I don't know, like 8 years old blowing bubbles or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Cheaters don't win. And
what?
He used my son's image to get votes.
Yeah. Have they, has the Biden campaign, the people around Joe Biden, have they responded to you in any way?
No. What I know of, no. I don't know about the lawyers or anything like that, but towards me and my family, no.
What?
So where's your son now? My son is in Kenosha County Jail at the moment. He's been there for 77 to 79 days there. We're raising money to try to get him home. I just need people to help me to bring my son home. Please donate anything you can.
Nice. Rittenhouse's bail was set at $2 million. I'm actually surprised she hasn't been able to raise that much, considering how high profile this case was. I'm really, really surprised that they haven't been able to raise that much, you know? After a Fox News appearance, it's possible they're going to be able to, you know? You can make so much fucking money as a conservative just anytime you do anything to own the libs. Shoot a couple people at a protest, whatever. People will flood your GoFundMe. People will flood your GoFundMe. You get an insane amount of money, you know? For just any time you're like a conservative celebrity. We're hard on our celebrities. If you're a lefty and you get prominence, like at a protest or fighting the police or anything like that, you know what you get? A fucking hospital bill. Okay, we don't do this shit. We're like a Antifa guy fights the police, and then they get to do a media circuit on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, and get like $2 million off of a GoFundMe. We don't get that, you know. That's not a benefit that we get. Unfortunately. Yeah, BBC, fly over to the fucking UK, do it over there. That one girl who lied about being a Trump supporter and paid her college debt, lol. Yeah, dude, there have been cases where, like, it'll literally just be a pretty girl, and she'll be like, my parents cut me off because they don't like that I support Trump. MAGA 2020 boys. And they'll wear, like, a tight-fitting shirt with, like, Trump's, like, sweaty asshole fucking printed on it. And they get, like, $40,000. They're like, yeah, queen, you know? The ultimate simps, these people. Anyway, obviously this Kyle Rittenhouse mom versus Joe Biden lawsuit's not gonna do anything at all. So I'm not exactly worried about Joe Biden legally. In fact, I have a feeling this whole publicity stunt may have just been a way to try to get the $2 million bail for Kyle Rittenhouse. That seems like the only possible outcome of this, but yeah, it's just really weird. It's just really fucking weird, dude. I don't know. It's not surprising to me that Kyle Rittenhouse would turn out the way that he did with support from parents like that, or parent, of course. I don't know. I don't know what Kyle Rittenhouse's family situation is, so I don't really know. But I think at the end of the day, if there's one thing I want to reiterate, more importantly than anything else, it's to remember that our enemies are sad and lonely, okay? And desperate. And that doesn't make them any less dangerous, but it does mean that, like, at the heart of every neo-Nazi and white supremacist is somebody who took not getting laid in high school the worst possible way, or somebody who didn't get enough affection from their family, or somebody who, all of them are products of circumstances conspiring against them, not in like a they were born unlucky way, but more like a they don't know how to accept the blame for their own life problems kind of way. You know? It's fucking sad though, Vosh. How do you fix/help that? Well, the biggest thing you can do is give them a better community, you know. And Innuendo Studios talked about this in many of his videos. But essentially, people will mold their political beliefs to suit the needs of the communities that they're in. Okay, if you're born in a bad community, most people are going to turn out bad. People like the affirmation you get from being, you know, with those other people, and we need to provide them that community space. That's why I think what I do is so important, you know? There are lefties who say, we don't need recovering fascists on the left, they're a danger. I strongly disagree. If you don't give them those spaces, they stay fascists. Let me give you an example. I've talked to multiple people who are exactly like this, okay? Multiple people, all right? Are you ready for it? They have said they grew up fascist. Like, nobody grows up fascist, but they grew up and kind of adopted those, you know, beliefs and mannerisms. And they went deeper and deeper and deeper. And one day it's watching feminists get wrecked videos. And 2 years later, it's, you know, reading up on how the Jews sank the Lusitania to secure the gold vault of Fort Knox. And eventually, you know, they have this realization, or they have like a moment, it snaps in their head, and they think, what the fuck am I doing? But then after they realize that, they think, I'm fucked. I'm a piece of shit. I'm crazy. There's no way any other social groups are going to accept me. I can't go be friends with normal, normie people or lefties or whatever. I'm fucked, you know? I'm in too deep. I can't recover from this. Yeah, who here in chat has felt that? Like, at some point you realized you were far enough on the right, and then you realized, holy shit, like, I can't pull out of this. Like, this is... Yeah, I know some of you have felt that. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes when people have that feeling, they're correct, because there aren't other social spaces that'll accept them. And that's what I want to fix. I want to show you can be an edgy, kind of dumb fuck, whatever. You can enjoy the lay, stupid arslers wrecked and owned, whatever. You can enjoy all that without being a bad person. You don't have to be a bad person to have fun. That's what the right sells you. The right sells you fun and camaraderie from other people looking for fun. And the left needs to do a better job of that too. And then maybe, you know, people like Kyle Rittenhouse, maybe not necessarily him himself, but people like Kyle Rittenhouse, when they grow up, even if they lean very far right growing up, you know, they have a feeling and understanding that at any point, it is possible for them to move back. It's possible. One of the first things that cults will do is isolate you from the outside world, say they'll never accept you, so you have to stick with us. Sorry. And they're a cult. We have to break that feeling, you know? It's also another one of the reasons why there are so many more right-leaning grifters than there are left-leaning grifters. And there are left-leaning grifters, but people are more willing to jump to the right, not just because there's more money there, but because they know the right is way more accepting of people who have an unorthodox past ideologically. So, not to say we should make ourselves more open to grifters or anything like that, but generally speaking, like there are better. Who's a left-wing grifter? Yours truly, buddy. I'm just here for the dono. Bring me the donos. Bring them in, people. Where are those subs? I see white names in chat. You know what I'm talking about. I expected my throat to bother me more during that segment. I'm proud. All right, people. Second up. Let's do it. The faster I move, the less time there is for me to cough. Did you see the reaction to Ollie's Trump trans tweet? Makes me want to turn into an alt-right furry avatar. Oh, God, I remember that. Oh, should I do a segment on that? I have thoughts. Oh, God. Okay. Sure, it's quick, it's easy. Let me find the goddamn tweet. If any of you carry with you like a potent risk for suicidality, if you're like on the brink, okay, you need to leave right now because this is some goddamn sui fuel for lefties. This is some fucking, oh God, hold on. All right, get ready. Okay. I know that for the people who I want to listen to this, I'm the last person they're going to listen to, but I really want to talk about it anyway. Who here knows about a channel called Philosophy Tube? Run by Ollie. He makes good videos. Yeah. Yeah, I know you all know. It was rhetorical, dipshits. Anyway, the New York Post tweeted this out. Nonpartisan board calls on Trump to begin transition. And if you're trans, which like a third of the people watching right now are, you already know what joke naturally comes from this. You know, as easily as 2 follows 1 and B follows A, you know exactly what joke is about to be made. And Ollie made it. Go back. That's a surprise. That's my British voice. Best of luck to the president in her transition. Get it? Get it? Because the transition being referred to by the New York Post is like transitioning from one presidential administration to the other. And in this one, yeah, okay, you get it. Anyway, here's me. Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened here? Anyway, this tweet kind of blew up, like 16,000 likes, whatever. But if you actually look at the comments, they are like overwhelmingly negative. Kind of cringe, bro. This is fine. True. This isn't funny, sincerely a trans person. And then the retort, I thought it was funny and I'm a trans person. This is a joke only found funny by transphobic people. What does that say about the joke? Because of how things have unfolded over the past year, trans people expressing this tweet isn't cool are already being dismissed as the woke scold cancel culture Twitter mob. So predictable. Yeah, the people who I want to watch this video aren't going to take any advice from me, so... oh, whoops. Transphobe is trans is not a joke cis people should make. You're a good ally, but this ain't it. Let's not joke about this. This is not a good joke. Please actually delete. It's been 12 hours. Why isn't this deleted? It goes on for a very long time. Like a very, very long time. I read through the whole thing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you guys want to stop watching right now, this is your invitation too, because, oh God. Okay, so let's talk about this. be very sensitive, okay? As a cis person, please recognize that all my perspectives have been influenced by my lived experience as a cis person, which means I didn't have to grow up with people questioning my gender identity. And so, a couple of things, okay? First of all, I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between harm and offense. So let's say for a minute, okay? I've been given the trans pass. I can talk about this. All right, thank you. Let's say for a minute, okay? You're a trans person and you see an insensitive joke being made by a friend. Not like bigoted, not like trans people aren't valid or what, whatever. Not no helicopter jokes. But just like a joke that maybe rubs you the wrong way. Like it's kind of cringe or whatever, To immediately jump to the assumption that this is both A, transphobic, and B, indicative of some kind of broader social harm is very weird to me. I understand that offense isn't inherently an invalid criticism to make of jokes that you don't like. Like if you're offended by something, that's not nothing, It's not an argument against another argument, but it's something. Like I don't like being offended by my friends, Well, when I'm with my friends and they make jokes about how tall and handsome and muscular and strong I am, they're always joking about it and I'm always like, yeah, guys, I get it. I'm great, but give it a rest. And like I can like it the offense builds up, but there are some people in this tweet who are acting as though the presence of this tweet on the internet is like harmful to trans people. So let me be really super duper clear, okay? Objectively, nobody who wasn't transphobic was made transphobic by this tweet. This tweet isn't like hurting the world. It's just kind of like a lame dad joke that I guess something rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I know there are plenty of trans people who wouldn't find this offensive because as a person who presides over a community with a lot of trans people in it, I know a lot of you people are totally fine with it. Which I think this is more indicative not of whether you're trans or cis, but what communities you grow up in. Because here's my hot ass take, okay? 98% of the people getting offended through here are cis. Guarantee you, I'd bet my fucking life on it. I'd hold a fucking knife to my wrist or my throat and bet on it, okay? I'd bet to the devil. A lot of these people are cis. Most of these people are cis, okay? Which means we're in an unfortunate position of presuming offense, which I generally think is a really, really bad look. Both optically, like to the outside, and also amongst ourselves. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong, by the way, with being cis and getting offended at transphobia, but like, this feels like an edge case to me. And the edge case feels like kind of meaningless to me because this isn't a transphobic joke at all. Nothing about this joke is transphobic. It's not even edgy. Like, even slightly. In fact, you could actually argue it's an anti-transphobic joke because the indication here is that if somebody says they're beginning transition, that you would support them regardless of their political affiliation. Nothing about this joke implies harm to trans people, but there were people in the comment section saying that this is the attack helicopter joke, which I'll explain it. No. The attack helicopter joke is when you insinuate that being non-binary or being trans is dumb because it means anyone can identify as anything, and now you're identifying as an attack helicopter, dropping bombs on people, whatever. So the joke there is that the idea of identifying as anything other than the gender you were assigned at birth is cringe. That's the attack helicopter joke. That is not this joke at all. That's just not what this joke is. It's not the one joke. It's just, I don't know. Look, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I recognize that the people in my community are going to be predisposed towards not being offended about stuff like this because I'm fairly edgy, which means that a lot of you guys are also going to be fairly edgy, and I know that I'm explaining the joke here, and that makes it all bad and ruined and stuff like that. But, I have to feel a little bit bad for Ollie here. Wait, hold on. Vosh, I think some people interpret it as Trump is a bigot, and I think it would be a fitting punishment for him to be trans, which I don't think is what Ollie intended. Okay, so here's my response to that. If anybody thinks that the joke here is Trump is a bigot and it would be a fitting punishment for him to be trans, they're insane. That is an unhinged interpretation of this tweet. You're in another world. Fucking Stretch Armstrong over here reaching around the fucking world. Yeah, I feel like that might be projection. And by the way, that is something that you see a lot in communities of marginalized people. People getting offended at stuff that really isn't offensive because they're projecting self-hatred onto what they're looking at. You guys have seen that happen before, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of like have you ever had like an insecure girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever? Have you ever had like an insecure girlfriend who will ask you questions about like her appearance or like how she's dressed, and you'll answer honestly, but you know she's trying to bait you into saying something unflattering so they can be offended by it? I'm saying girlfriend because I've had more girlfriends than boyfriends. Like that's just my experience. But um nope. Okay, well it's a thing that happens. Whatever the case is, just I don't know. I feel like the real victim here is Ollie. Just because Ollie is such an orthodox progressive, you know what I mean? I'm edgy. I get canceled all the time, whatever. You know, but Ollie is like super duper on point with being kind and considerate. There were people in the responses to this tweet who said they were done with Ollie because in Ollie's most recent video, a character that he was playing as said retard or retarded, I think. Which, if you're at a position where you're willing to completely disavow leftist content creators because in a criticism of bigotry, they play a character who says retarded, I mean, you're kind of a cancel culture, woke scold, over offended sensitivity baby mob, aren't you? Right? I mean, that's really dumb. Um, I think we really need to grow past these people because what you find is that much like neo-Nazis online, the people who get sensitive like this or like this easily are usually a relatively small group of like typically young people who think the best thing they can do to make a difference is hyper purity check everybody else. But like they're a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the online left. So they're very vocal, but they're not even close to a majority. And I think it's important to not humor them. You don't want to give them a space in your community because they are a really toxic influence. I'm not saying everybody who was offended by this tweet is a toxic influence, by the way. I don't believe that. If you get offended, I'll say it. If you get offended easily, you're valid, okay? Whatever. We're all living life, okay? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Do whatever you want. But if you're using this as some sort of leverage or attack against an unambiguously extremely progressive person, like if you're actually using this as some sort of wedge to drive in the community, I don't know. I think that's really, really dumb. I think that's extremely dumb. And nobody's woke enough. Well, whatever. The can we be, listen, this is my personal growth, okay? A year and a half ago, talking about this exact issue, whoo boy, I'd be mad, okay? You people saw my old streams, didn't you? Nowadays, calm and cool. You know why, by the way? Do you have any idea why I got so much calmer? Well, part of it's because I got larger. And better at doing this, and but a lot of it is also because I stopped feeling as though that was a community I was responsible for appealing to. And after doing that, I felt a lot better. I no longer felt like I had to tailor my optics or my language to appeal to a group of people who are, though not good for the left, very much a part of the left, and therefore I don't need to worry about them. For what purpose is there in leftist outreach if all you're doing is reaching out to people who are already on the left, you know? Like, what are we doing there? Anyway, I feel bad for Ollie here because I know exactly how this went for Ollie, okay? Are you ready for it? This is how it went for Ollie, okay? Ollie saw this New York Post tweet, which was 3 days old when he retweeted it. So I don't know if somebody else had retweeted it or something. Something spurred this, but Ollie retweeted it with what he thought was a harmless little joke that, again, was in no way, this is not in any way, shape, or form like derogatory towards trans people. And then Ollie left the computer to go, what do British people do? I don't know, to go chase a Bobby or tea. Yeah, it could be tea. What are other British things that I know? Go over to India and like beat somebody to death. I have no idea. Whatever the fuck British people do, okay? And then later, Ollie came back to the computer and found the reaction, and I imagine felt quite sore about it. But the unfortunate thing is, what are you meant to do if you're Ollie? See, if you delete this tweet, as some people are suggesting he do, that's a terrible response. Never, ever, ever listen to commentators tell you, if you're a public content creator, how to handle drama. Never. Because if you just delete it, most of the people are going to then say, he's trying to cover up the evidence. He fucked up. Oh, did you hear about Ollie's deleted tweet? Yeah, Ollie had like a transphobic tweet that he had to delete. Yeah. Oh, you heard about that, right? That time that Ollie went on like that transphobic rant on Twitter and then had to delete? The telephone game goes on and on and on. You're done. If you delete the tweets, you're fucking gone, bro. You can't do that. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You can't delete the tweet. It also implies you're wrong, and Ollie's not wrong here, so. And if you do another tweet where you say, I apologize for the previous tweet, the responses to that tweet they're only going to be, why don't you delete the first tweet, which brings you up to the same problem. The only thing that you can do is not acknowledge it at all. That's the secret right there, okay? You just don't acknowledge it. If you're streaming or something, you can be like, oh yeah, I didn't want people to interpret it that way, but what are you going to do? But the more you acknowledge drama like this, the more you dignify the worst actors participating in it, you know? And frankly, again, by the way, if there was a fan of Philosophy Tube who saw this tweet and now their like appreciation is teetering on the brink, this is not a person that you should be addressing anyway, because this is not like a real fan of your channel. This is not the type of person that you want like propagating in your community. So yeah, just, oh God. You can't make everybody happy. You cannot make everybody happy. You can't. What if you double down on it? Good move or no? No, don't double. What would Ollie even be defending here? Like, I have the right to make tweets, and if you're offended, that's your fault. No. Doubling down is no. Just move by. You know, think of all of the like content creators that have been on the internet for like a decade, and think of how much drama pretty much all of them have been through. You know what the most consistently best response is anytime any shit like this happens? You just walk through it. You just walk right the fuck through it, you know? Just keep on doing it. Don't ignore it entirely. Like, if it comes up, acknowledge it. But just walk through it. Don't obsess. Yeah, hashtag walk away. The real meaning of the phrase. Very true. Very, very true. What is this? Did I see John Doyle's new video?
Ladies and gentlemen,
the election is not over yet. Heck off, commie. Oh, God. Oh, hold on. Must I spoil you people? Let me run through a couple of donations. We still have plenty to talk about. We might talk about John Doyle, just because I like making fun of the kid. There's also the clip where President Trump, I shit you not, kind of sort of concedes the election. At least it's the most we're going to get from him. I'll explain when we get there, okay? But you gotta wait out for that, all right? Let's go over some donos. Chad Williams and Maddie Ice PVD, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $10. I really appreciate that. Brandon Butterfield and You Stinky Balls Jones, thank you both for the $5. I agree with Mike, but he's a jerk. I think that that's the first time I've ever like talked with Mike from PA in the panel the other day. I think Mike did brilliantly. I do think that Mike is aggressively condescending, but frankly, I'm not in a position to speak to that point. What am I going to do to criticize somebody else for that? Being condescending to conservatives, you know? Lolo Andify Casual Films and The Injustices. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that. Elaine Arduane and Caps Are Animals. Whoa. Thank you. Uday and Goddamn User. Thank you both very much for the $10. Really appreciate that. Andrew S. the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that as well. Jump Die Gaming with the 3 Australian. Very kind of you, comrade. Never gonna forget it. Humphead Sassy and Goddamn User again. Both of you with the incredibly kind $10. I really appreciate that. Even though one of you have given me real money and one of you have given me Canadian money, I still appreciate it. That darn skag, thanks to the 10 Canadian. Just clicked on the stream. Is it essentially flags versus non-flags? Yeah, basically. I've said this before, but pretty much anybody who just, like, uses a flag, it's almost a dog whistle for being, like, a conservative, you know? Brayden Hatch, thank you so much for the incredibly kind $10. Can you email that study to me? I would love to look at it further. Brandon Butterfield, Anthony Villani, Andrew A., and Zembarado, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. The jobs in these fields like coal miners aren't coming back regardless of what happens. These corporations use tech to downside the labor force. Yeah, only under capitalism could automation and more efficient workplaces end up leading to an economic crisis. My God. Do people even stop to think of the madness of it all? We've automated our facilities, thus needing fewer people to produce more of the same labor. This is terrible. Now we can't pay as many workers. Where's the fucking efficiency going? The amount of efficiency in the world has gone up. There's a direct relationship between the amount of economic productivity and the amount of shit people can have. Like they're directly related. Serena, Bone Skolzy, and Bone Skolzy again. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. What is this? Oh, we have a fan. Any party that cannot live in reality does not deserve to be in power. For 3 years, the DNC pushed Russia collusion, and it was proven false. MAGA 2020. Except, it was actually proven true. The Russian government did encourage the dissemination of propaganda in America that was deliberately designed to downplay our belief in the systems we live in, which tends to correspond to conservative votes. And then, the Associated Press does not call elections. Biden is not president-elect yet. It is unconstitutional. Bernie is not anti-establishment. Okay, this guy's on a normal one. What are you going to do? No problem, Serena. But I wouldn't make a good dad to anyone. Let the sun shine through. Thanks to the $2, comrade. I really appreciate that as well. I'm going to run through a few more donos, then get back to the content. Again, my throat is still... You can probably hear it in when I'm talking. You can probably hear I've got like a... that, yeah. Dragonflyona, thank you so much for the incredibly kind 15 Australian. I really appreciate that, comrade. And not the one with the $10. Yes, the Rob guy does talk a lot. To be fair, I talk a lot too. The difference is I talk very quickly, at least when I want to. So, and Dragonflyona with the additional 15 Australian. Vosh, this is for your migraine from having to sit through this many bad takes. Ha! I had fun last night. I did. We're still on last night's donos. Intoxicant eaten by ghouls, Bone Skolzy, again. Goddamn User and Hilltop Ironworks. Thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. That is really, really, really kind of you. I really appreciate that, comrade. Trump's legacy should include the fact that the number of synagogue shootings in the U.S. doubled during his administration. Did they really? That is crazy. I didn't realize they had doubled. I knew they went up. I didn't realize they'd increased by 100%. I guess that fits. Space Carnation, Brian27, and Dude Man, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Really appreciate that. Do people understand we can't attack China in traditional sense? We're nuclear powers. This would be the end of the world. You know what the funny thing is? I'm actually super, super, super anti-China. I think that China is much more capable of crushing global socialism than America is. America fucking sucks. It's stupid and decaying and broken. China is way more efficiently run, and they have a way stronger hold on the freedoms of their population, which is 5 times the size of ours. I think they are capable of repressing socialism, repressing human rights way further down the line because they're still growing, they're still investing, you know? I'm anti-China. I want China, or at least the current Chinese government, to be brought in line, at the very least, with a bourgeois democracy, so we have the same ability to influence them that we do here in America. I'd rather have a bourgeois democracy than a fucking anti-socialist autocracy, but America is like Republicans are just letting China run amok. They think that tariffs are going to stop China. You think that posturing is going to stop China? No. The only thing that could possibly stop China at this point, the only chance we could ever have of maintaining any kind of global dominance relative to China, is the United States and the European Union working together to form a massive trading bloc that we only let China participate in selectively if they agree to our terms. The only thing we can do is massive, massive, like, multilateral trade agreements and going down hard on them in that respect. That's the only thing that we can do at this point. You can't go to war with China. That's not going to work. Tariffing just doesn't fucking work. We're not going to tariff them. That's not going to work. Yeah, I don't know. I was worried you supported continued access for China to global markets. I don't want any of... Listen, I don't want any of us having access to global markets. Global markets are cringe as shit. But what I recognize is that right now, the odds of America going socialist are infinitely higher than China going socialist. Way the fuck higher. The Chinese government is explicitly anti-democracy, and socialism is economic democracy. You can't separate democracy from socialism. No matter how hard tankies want to claim otherwise, you can't separate the two. You either have direct worker control of the means of production, in which case that is by nature democracy, or, alternatively, you have a government, a decommodified governmental system, which manages these commodity productions, these economic structures, in a perfectly democratic government, or at least something close to it, which means that functionally through the government we vote on the means of production, blah, blah. Both of these are viable paths for socialism. I obviously prefer the former for a lot of reasons. Both of them involve democracy. So China, being aggressively anti-democratic and quite good at it too, it's not good. Not good, people. Not good. Not good for socialism. Very sad. Very bad. Salem Flowers, thanks the gifted tier 1 sub. Ryan Nermy, TJ Gamer, and Too Lazy for a Real Name. Thank you all so much for the very, very kind $5. I really appreciate that. Yes, I do plan on playing the Hollow Knight sequel on stream 100%. Sorry, I was reading something about Trump's gun bans, yeah. Yeah, true, Brandon Butterfield. Very, very true. Zimix02, Blue Texas, please. Ryan Kamir, thank you all very much for the incredibly kind $5. What's for din din there? I was eating mashed potatoes. That was what I was doing. Brianna Gibson, thank you very much for the incredibly kind $10. Really appreciate that. Garrick Schwartz with a very kind $20. I really appreciate that as well, comrade. And Joey Jojo with the tier 3 sub. Thank you so fucking much, my dude Arena. Really, really appreciate that. It's true. Socialism is when the government does things. Oh, God. There we go. All right. It's clear that donations are poison to me. So let's while we have plenty more to go over, let's briefly move on to another topic. I don't have COVID. Fuck you. New DACA rules invalid? Wait, what? What's this? Federal judge says new DACA rules are invalid. Chad Wolf was not legally serving as acting Homeland Security Secretary when he signed rules limiting applications and renewals for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Nice! So the Trump's attempt to fuck with the DACA program has been shot down in court. Very nice. Happy to hear.
Like to for the most
Shut up. Sticks goes full cringe. When does he not? No, Joe Biden is not president-elect. Wow, brave. All right. Folks, I saw a little snippet on Twitter recently from a press conference that Donald Trump did just the other day, and it showed something very interesting. It showed what I think might be the closest thing we're going to get to a concession, at least for right now, from the president, which is fantastic, of course, because White House insiders have suggested multiple times that Donald Trump, he's very sad, he's depressed, he knows he's fucked, they know. But what I want is I want to see the suffering. That's the important distinction there. It's not enough for me to know that he's suffering. I want to watch it so I can clip it and I can have it on a little tablet permanently playing, plugged into an outlet that I will frame on my wall, his suffering. Anyway, we go now to C-SPAN.
part, it tends to be a nonpartisan bill.
Shut up. There he comes, the Donster. Really, auto 576p, huh? That's what we're going for this video?
Thank you very
C-SPAN,
much.
we couldn't get
Thank
like
you.
1080p? Really, C-SPAN. We couldn't get 1080p for C-SPAN. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. He does look very sad. Also, yeah, his hair is white. What is up with that? You see that? Look, his hair is like platinum blonde white.
It's beautiful out here this time of year.
True.
In the past 9 months, my administration has initiated the...
Oh yeah, this is a press briefing on the coronavirus, by the way. Wait, hold on. Coronavirus cases per day. Give me that. Inject it straight into my veins. Du-du-du-du-du-du. Give me that. Give me that chart. Oh yeah. Now that's a third wave. Look at that. That's a third fucking wave, baby. We're all gonna die. Look at that. That is incredible. Every wave seems to double the size of the last one. Remember when we were back in April and it was like, oh God, 30,000 cases a day. Whoa. And then we were like, oh God, 70,000 cases a day. Whoa. Yeah. November 13th, 170,000 new cases. 170,000 new cases. This is the red wave we were told about, people. So basically, this country is fucking ruined. We've done worse than essentially any other country on Earth. And this is despicable. And this is a death cult. And we're all going to die. And by we all, of course, I mean you people. I work from indoors. And I Instacart my groceries now. Because I'm not going outside. So, yeah, good luck with all that. Unless they got me too early. Oh, God. Bring it in, Trump.
Single greatest mobilization in U.S. history, pioneering, developing, and manufacturing therapies and vaccines in record time. Numbers like nobody's seen before. No medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it, and I had tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do. And
Not the first time I've said this, but I do appreciate the fact that literally every Trump speech is like 80% him jerking off, you know? Every single time. We did this thing nobody thought it could be done. We did it better than anyone else ever before. We did it so good. People were calling me. I was getting visions in my dreams of past presidents. Abraham Lincoln, he came to me and he said, Don, you really knocked it out of the park with this one. You did great with the blacks. You did phenomenal with the blacks. And now you've done great with this one. Like, oh, what's up? Not that. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. We have warm honey to help. You know, I just hate eating honey. Like on its own. Back to where?
we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China virus vaccine is more than 90%.
China virus vaccine. Oh, by the way, you know what's fun? This Pfizer vaccine, the Trump administration had nothing to do with it. Trump immediately tried to take credit for it, and the company said that they had nothing to do with it. America didn't invest in the development. They didn't assist. They did nothing. It's Germany. Germany did it. And by the way, if I remember correctly, the two scientists most responsible for developing it were a Muslim German-Turkish power couple. Muslims.
% effective. This far exceeds any and all expectations. Nobody thought they'd get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses. with the option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our investment will make it possible for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge.
So again, he's taking credit for something that he hasn't actually done yet. What he essentially said is that he promised Pfizer that if they make the vaccine, he would buy it off of them. That's it. Hold on. Vosh, it's true that he didn't have anything to do with researching it, but the U.S. did guarantee buying $2 billion worth of this vaccine, which some people think did positively influence Pfizer's ability to make the vaccine, though some disagree. In my personal opinion, considering the fact that a COVID vaccine is literally the most wanted thing on the world right now, I don't think the U.S. promising to buy it when it comes out was like the push that these researchers needed. You know what I mean? I don't think he has any room whatsoever to take credit for any of this.
Pfizer said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be a unfortunate misrepresentation.
It did not. They corrected you.
That's why we gave them the $1.95 billion.
The $1.95 quadrillion that we promised. That's million billion is a quadrillion, right? Yeah, $1 billion.
And it was an unfortunate mistake that they made when they said that. We will work to secure an emergency use authorization.
He sounds like a fucking mafia don, dude. Jesus Christ. He's like, and when Pfizer said that they didn't rely on our help, it was very unfortunate, people. What they said was very unfortunate mistake of theirs. You know? I feel like what the fuck they're suggesting.
Which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, and it will be approved. I think, again, it will be approved very, very quickly, we hope. The average development timeline for the vaccine, including clinical tests and manufacturing, can take 8 to 12 years. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're doing it in less than 1 year. If you had a different administration with different people, what we've done would have taken, in my opinion, 3, 4, 5 years, and it would have been in the FDA forever.
If Hillary Clinton had won, they would have come out with the vaccine, and Hillary Clinton would have said, no, you need to test it again, and then test it again, and Hillary Clinton would have never let it even enter the United States, only I would have let this German company give us the vaccine. Jesus. Would you trust a rushed vaccine? I will trust any vaccine that meets the standards of quality set by the FDA. Yeah, 100%. Some vaccines take longer, and some vaccines take less time. Or the World Health Organization. Yeah, as long as the experts jump on this, then yeah. What people were saying was that they don't want to trust a vaccine that just got rushed out by Trump that didn't have any of those, like, legitimizing affirmation.
This is 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in history. 5 times faster. Say it again, 5 times faster. Nobody can believe it, actually.
Say it again. No one can believe it. He's such a fucking clown, dude. Jesus Christ. I can't believe people find behavior like this impressive, you know? When I say 5 times, you say faster. 5 times. The crowd, they didn't hear me. It was a very unfortunate mistake that they made. They didn't hear me. We'll get that settled soon.
3 other vaccines are also in the final stages of trial. They'll arrive within a few weeks, and they will also be mass-produced, and the delivery will be very rapid. We're ready to go. The vaccine will be distributed to...
Man, he really does look like shit, though. Listen to him like, okay, the vaccine will be... He's, like, checked out, dude. He has mentally conceded, I will say that much.
Frontline workers, the elderly, and high-risk Americans immediately. It will be a matter of weeks. Get out very, very much ahead of schedule. Any schedule that I said we're going to be far ahead of that.
What?
We know that this virus primarily targets older populations and those with underlying health conditions, while over 99.98% of those under the age of 50 make a full and quick recovery.
This is, of course, a factual lie. Many people who are younger after getting COVID, even if they survive, have long-lasting consequences to their health. So, yeah, this is just a factual lie. the consequences of COVID-19 are not exclusively expressed in their death toll.
Vaccine to high-risk individuals right away will dramatically reduce hospitalizations and deaths. Case levels are high, but a lot of the case levels are high.
You know what I think is really funny? Remember back like fucking 12 years ago when the big talking point from the Republicans was the death panels? Remember that shit? It was like, with government-run healthcare, a collection of unelected bureaucrats they're going to determine who lives and who dies. And now, like, the Republicans are like, it's like 250,000 grandmas. Like, whatever. They were old. They were going to die anyway. We literally have death panels right now, and the panelists all said that just everyone dies, That's our death panel. The death panel has taken out for lunch, and the default ruling when they're not there is death.
Because of the fact that we have the best testing program anywhere in the world. We've developed the most and the best tests. And we test far more than any other country, so it shows, obviously, more cases. By vaccinating the elderly and the high risk, we will effectively end this phase of the pandemic and allow seniors to reclaim their golden years, the golden years of their lives, which is so incredible. And it's about time that they can have those golden years. Again, this process is starting right away. Millions of doses will soon be going out the door. They're all ready, waiting for that final approval. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and
what?
I don't think it's good politically. I think it's very bad from a health standpoint, but he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from. These are coming from the...
No, he said that he would accept the vaccine if it was approved by health officials, just not if it was rushed out by the Trump administration.
Greatest companies anywhere in the world, greatest labs in the world. But he doesn't trust the fact that it's this White House, this administration. So we won't be delivering it to New York until we have authorization to do so. And that pains me to say that.
What the fuck is he talking about? What a fucking child, dude. Wait, let me try to think of the best, like, schoolyard equivalent of this. He's so fucking petty. Okay? He's like, oh my fucking god, dude. It's like Trump's like a 6-year-old in elementary school who brings the ball to school with him to play during recess, and last time they all played, he cheated, like he fucking picked it up with his hands to run over to the goal, and he got called out by fucking Cuomo or whatever, and now it's the next day, and Trump comes to the ball, and he's like, well, I brought my ball, and I'm okay with having this ball and we could all play, but I just want to make sure that everything's okay with little Cuomo over there. Want to make sure that he's okay with the way the game works. And, well, I don't know if we can play. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he can't play until he understands how the game works. Like, this is so insanely bratty, dude. Jesus fucking Christ.
This is a very successful, amazing vaccine at 90% and more. But so the Governor Cuomo, will have to let us know when he's ready for it. Otherwise, we can't be delivering it to a state that won't be giving it to its people immediately. And I know the people of New York very well. I know they want it. So the governor will let us know when he's ready. He's had some very bad editorials.
Still going.
Recently about this statement and what's happening.
Can you imagine? Like, just imagine this being explained to you. Oh, it's the President of the United States describing policy for distributing vaccines in the midst of the worst pandemic in over a century, and he dedicated 90 seconds of it to saying that he can't give it to New York until the governor especially asks him.
What's happened with respect to nursing homes and his handling of nursing homes, and I hope he doesn't handle this as badly as he's handled the nursing homes.
Still
but
going.
We're ready to provide it as soon as they let us know that they'll actually use it.
Still going.
And again, it's a very safe and a great vaccine. Already we have among the lowest case fatality rates our country anywhere in the world, the entire
and so many cases.
Entire world.
It's not true.
And we performed significantly better than our peer countries.
That is objectively not true. No. Oh God. Oh my God, that is so not true.
As far as therapeutics are concerned, my administration's also made critical investments in therapies that have helped reduce the mortality rate by 85%. That's, to me, one of the most exciting things. It's incredible, some of the antibody vaccines and others that have come out and have really helped people. 85%. Last month, the FDA approved remdesivir, and we've secured enough remdesivir to treat 850,000 patients. My administration finalized an agreement with Eli Lilly to purchase the first doses of their antibody therapy, which shows amazing results. This treatment will be available completely free of cost to patients. 5,000 units have already been shipped, and many more are going out the door as we speak. We've also reached an agreement with AstraZeneca for the large-scale manufacturing of their antibody treatment, which is excellent. We expect to issue emergency use authorizations for a number of additional treatments in the near future. Tremendous promise. But remember the 85% number. That's an incredible number. But we have some tremendously promising drugs online and ready to come out.
Like copium.
We have ensured that our frontline workers have all the tools they need. My administration's invoked the Defense Production Act and related authorities over 100 times and have made a historic investment into our industrial base. All states that requested PPE from the federal government have received the PPE.
I haven't investigated that claim. Are we still experiencing PPE shortages? I imagine we are selectively. We're probably in a better place than we were earlier in the year, right? It's probably better now than it used to be.
Almost immediately upon request. Every American who needed a ventilator has had access to a ventilator.
That is probably not true.
Very complicated piece of equipment, very expensive. And we haven't had one person in this whole country that has requested or needed a ventilator that hasn't had it.
I sincerely doubt that is true. Every single person who has needed a ventilator has gotten it. So there's been no cases whatsoever of people that this is objectively not the case. I don't know. Maybe he means since the beginning of the day. Like he could be within the past 5 minutes. I don't know what time frame we're talking about.
Every single request has been immediately filled. So that was something that was a great.
Here we go. U.S. faces another shortage of PPE, including masks, as virus surges. Wow. Amazing. Levels of PPE in many healthcare facilities are well below what regulators recommend. On Wednesday, the U.S. for the first time recorded more than 100,000 new cases of coronavirus a day. Oh, that's cute. This is back when the top number of cases was 100 and, it was like 100,000 rather than what it is now, which is like 170,000. That's cool. U.S. leads the world number of coronavirus deaths. Very, very nice. Now we're up to about 250,000. Doing good, doing good. Yeah, I don't know, people.
Job, and now we're helping the rest of the world with ventilators because it's a very hard thing. We're producing them thousands of ventilators a month. The federal government has 22,000 beds immediately available for states and jurisdictions that need additional capacity, but we think that it's going to start going down, possibly very quickly. We'll see what happens, but with the vaccine, you'll see numbers going down within a matter of months, and they'll go down very rapidly. As we continue to combat the virus, our economy...
I'll never get tired of saying it, but God, he sounds so fucking stupid anytime he says anything. Every time he tries to make a point, he just gestures with word. Like, his vocabulary is so limited. He just gestures. It's very good. We're looking at it. It looks good. It's going to be very goodly. Like, every time he tries to explain anything, he just comes off sounding like a sixth grader.
Economy is rebounding far beyond any expectations. I see the stock market's up almost 400 points today again, and it's ready to break the all-time record. Our jobs records are incredible. The job numbers are incredible.
Wait, what do you mean ready to break the all-time record? Hold on. Where are we at with the Dow? We haven't caught up. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, no, we're getting there. It's incredible how disconnected the stock market is from actual human life. It's actually like almost pathological. Look at this. So the high is 29.5 for the Dow. And we're at, we're at about 20. Yeah, we're caught up. We're at about 29.5. Yeah. That's crazy. when like so many Americans are desperate and suffering and can barely make their rent, Dow Jones just keeps going up. Yeah, it's a graph of rich people's feelings, basically. Again, this is not like an indicator of economic health by any measure.
In the last 6 months, we've created over 13 million jobs and slashed the unemployment rate by more than half.
Because there were so many jobs lost because of COVID-19. You can't brag about how good a job you're doing of fixing a problem you created.
Last quarter, we witnessed the fastest economic growth ever recorded in the history of our country, 33.1%. It's a number that is more than double our highest. That was in 1952, and we've more than doubled it. The United States experienced the smallest economic contraction and the most rapid economic recovery of any major Western nation. We went down less, and we went up more.
That is...
Which is quite a combination of facts.
Definitely not true.
While healthy Americans...
Quite a combination of facts. What an interesting juxtaposition of numbers, if you think about it.
Have gone back to work and to school. We continue to spare no expense to protect the elderly and the vulnerable. According to some estimates, a national lockdown costs $50 billion a day and hundreds of thousands of jobs every single day.
Dude, $50 billion a day is like nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, $50 billion a day? That is so manageable. So we could run 20 days of that and only spend $1 trillion? Like, all we have to do is a good lockdown once, you know? That really could be way, way, way worse. Yeah, money is fake. Do whatever you want to, okay? His hair is much whiter, right? Yeah, his hair is really, really off-tone. I don't know why.
Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration it will be. I guess time will tell. But I can tell you this administration...
That's it! That's it! That's the closest thing we're getting to a concession.
Who knows will not be... Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, whatever...
He was about to say, hopefully, the next administration. He was absolutely about to say, hopefully, the next administration. He almost said it. And then he catches himself.
Whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration it will be. I guess time will tell.
And remembers that he's still posturing. And then he moves on. This proves it as far as I'm concerned. Trump knows he's fucked. He's just playing up the fucking hoax media shit. So he can get like a fucking momentum to get a private news network going as soon as he's done. Yeah, this is the closest thing that we've got. I know this doesn't sound like much, but this is unironically the closest thing that we've gotten to a concession yet. And even this press conference was the first time he'd spoken publicly in quite a while. He did this on the 13th of November. When was the last time he had made a public appearance before then? It had been a little while. Yeah, this is the closest that we're getting. We still have to deal with this motherfucker all the way through. Yeah, a week. That's a long-ass time, given the circumstances. We still have to deal with this guy until the 20th. I mean, we still have, like, 2 months. A little more than 2 months. 9 weeks with Trump. I'm interested in seeing how the rhetoric evolves over that time, but this motherfucker was absolutely about to say the next administration. And even after he catches himself, he didn't say, when I'm still president, because I won. He didn't do that. He didn't bother with the posturing. Which is interesting. That was the main thing I cared about. I actually skipped ahead in the video, and he's about to go and talk with a doctor is going to come on and tongue his ball sack, and it gets boring from this point forward. Significantly less relevant. Okay. You should go over to this Bo video, explains why a military coup won't happen. Of course a military coup won't happen. That was never really on the table. Military coup. I don't think that was going to happen. I wasn't concerned about that. What are these links? Hungarian government proposes constitutional amendment mandating Christian gender roles. Nice. Love 2020. constitutional amendment, too. Not even just a law, but a full-on fucking amendment. I don't know how the legal system in Hungary works, but I assume that's a fairly severe legal imposition. Why do they waste time on this? You know why. Thoughts on this criticism of you? Let's hear it. The first tweet is, I really try not to get into inter-left infighting, but I make one giant exception. Vosh sucks. Ah, you always do. And then the criticism I was linked was, I keep seeing people say Vosh converts people to the left, but all his fans seem way more loyal to his personal brand than any sort of leftist thought. Also, he looks like a Reddit libertarian. All right. Well, half of this is just being mean to me. So the only criticism here is, I mean, I am a libertarian who uses Reddit, so. The real criticism here is that my fans are more loyal to me than any sort of leftist thought. You know what that actually means? That means we want to shit talk Vosh, and we don't like it when his fans defend him, because that's them betraying orthodox leftist thought and prioritizing defending Vosh. This means literally nothing. This criticism is literally just Vosh bad. You know? Who is this person anyway? This is Jack Allison. I've never seen this Twitter account before. What is this? Who is this? Their Twitter banner is them in a Speedo at the beach. I assume that's them, and I respect that. Does anyone know Jack Allison? None of you know? Text? What is this? Oh, God. Wait, debates lined up? Oh, God. Michael J. Depresso claims to have tons of evidence of voter fraud and thinks men are being emasculated by society. Jack Love wants to tell you why Russiagate is bullshit. Dude, it's not 2016 anymore. I don't give a fuck about Russiagate. And Sasha Alex is a DPRK/USSR standing tanky. We'll see what this does for my cough. Okay. Michael J. Depresso. Sure, we'll give it a look. You fucking loonies. Okay, let me see this. All right. Send the damn thing. Why do I have to send these out? Shouldn't you do it? I don't know. There. Do the tanky one. Dude, we've done enough tanky arguments. These arguments are all the same. Tankies aren't worth the time. Do the conservative one. Fuck Russiagate, though. So obsessed with Russiagate, dude. Jesus Christ. Michael. But I already got Michael. Oh, they have a fucking GIF? They have a GIF for their Discord, Avi? That's so fucking cool. Oh, shit. They already have a higher power level than me. That's not good. All right. Waiting on a response. Dun, 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 dun. Can't do the debate right now because I have family over. Can we schedule time for it? Nope, I don't care. I'm a creature of the moment. There's the other one. Give me the fucking tanky then. Hyena, tell that first person that I said no. I'm too important to type it out to them. All right, the tanky it is. Sasha Alex. Sounds like a Sasha, but it's spelled like Russian with CH, you know? There we go. It's pronounced GIF, you fucking numbskulls. Do we have any unironic linguistic prescriptivists in chat? As though a person who makes a term gets to decide how it's pronounced by all of civilization until the end of time? Fuck you. It's pronounced GIF. Okay? GIF. Who the fuck says GIF? Okay? That's stupid. GIF? What are you, a fucking moron? Are you a baby? Are you gonna cry? GIF? No, it's GIF. We're all wrong. It's actually HIF. The real hidden truth they don't want you to know. Kill me. This motherfucker going to show up. Sasha Alex. Getting bored. Getting bored. Getting bored. And interest lost. What are you going to do, people? Hold on. What's this thing everyone linked? 2020 election week. Top relative searches. Terms searched more often each state when compared to all others. Edward Redbeard wants to come on and say there was voter fraud. No, Edward Redbeard, you're too fucking civil, okay? There's a massive fucking cognitive dissonance or whatever between your civility and the positions that you believe in. Stop being a racist. Check bottom right. All right, let's give it a look. Florida went for Trump, apparently. Wait, I'm curious about that. Florida went for Trump. Hold on. Do you think this was like geriatric boomers, like opening up Pornhub, and then they, because the election's going on, they search Trump there, you know? So yeah, for Georgia, we got tickling. Nevada, Vegas. Okay, some people are just using Pornhub as like a default search engine, I guess. Tennessee, Granny. Texas, Sex Mex. That's funny as fuck. We've got fat ass, Popeyes, sloppy blowjob, pegging. Pegging would be from Rhode Island. That tracks. Furry from Arkansas. Interesting. Goth, femdom, accidental cream pie. Tinder, cougar, college, thought. Bondage, prawn. Foot job, dildo, Navajo. That's interesting, actually. Big booty. POV. Pumpkin wrestling, anal cream pie. True. Back shots. District of Columbia. Vote. Okay. People are just using it as a fucking default search engine. Wait, what is that? Does this mean like... Does this mean like coming on a person's back? Is that the term for that? I've never heard the term backshot being used to referring to coming on some... Okay, whatever. Orgy, double penetration, succubus... No, wait, hold on. Why would people search for this? This is like the worst shit, dude. When you're fucking doggy style, and in the porn, I mean, they're fucking dog style, and they pull out and shoot all over the back. Like, why? It's the back. Like, I don't know. Whatever. Pregnant, wedgie, true. Among Us. BBW, yoga pants 808, tushy. I don't like that term at all. It feel like if you're searching for tushy on a porn site, you should get a fucking FBI flag tripped to your computer. Oh, tushy is a studio? Oh, gotcha. Okay. I don't like it. No Nut November. Kings over here in Alaska. That makes sense, dude. Alaska has more men than it does women. They're all no nutting over there. They're no nut Novembering over there. Chubby, face-sitting cheerleader, wife swap in Nebraska. That is interesting. Highly conservative Nebraska, essentially out here for the cuckolding. That is interesting. Delaware election, Fortnite daddy, swag. Who the fuck uses swag anymore? Who uses that term? Who uses that term? Utah Mormon? Well, you could kind of expect that, right? Mormons probably get off to the fucking Mormons for Mormons that go online for porn. They're either looking at some degenerate like fucking barnhouse gangbang shit, or they're like looking for cooing POV 35-minute videos where a stern motherly figure gives you a foot job, you know? And there's no in between, you know? If you're a Mormon, you are legally not allowed. You are biblically not allowed to look at doggy style. You can't look at it. Mormon is a common theme for gay porn. Yeah, that's not surprising to me. Now here's the real question. For Mississippi, is prawn a misspelling? Or is it a specific thing? Like if I look up prawn on Pornhub, is it gonna be like porn between like Hot Topic, like scene people with like raccoon stripes in their hair who say te instead of the? Yeah, prawn is leet speak, like te, you know? By the way, I'll say it. Anybody who says te today or lay anything, not sure on the human rights thing. Not sold on it. And I'm including all French people, by the way, because they just do it naturally. The French are so degenerate that they use lay unironically. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? All right, well. I think my favorite one here, honestly, is just Louisiana being Popeyes. That's just really fucking funny to me, you know? That's really goddamn funny to me. This isn't their breakfast menu. He's fucking... Oh, God. This is funny as fuck, though. Yeah, I saw Sex Mix. Okay. It's important that you know a back shot is when you make their ass clap during doggy. I thought a back shot was when you nutted on the back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what that means. Also, what angle? Like, in doggy... For some people who have flat asses, if you fuck them doggy, you can't really clap their ass. You would have to, like, dig your fingers into, like, the meat of the hips and, like, painstakingly drag the skin, like... Yeah, you have to have a fat ass to even facilitate that. Vosh, you're right. Well, I knew that. I'm always right. Thank you. Yeah, that's how you do it. See, hold on. Can I draw this without getting flagged? So, the real back shot is when the ass claps around you, okay? So, you're fucking somebody with a fat ass from behind. It's doggy style, their face is in the pillow, blah, blah. and you're fucking them, and they've got a big ripe ass, okay? And the goal is that when you thrust forward, the cheeks of their ass wrap around your entire body and clap behind you. Yeah, it swallows you. Almost like the ass cheeks are the voracious jaws of a Venus flytrap, ensnaring you in their grasp. Yeah, you get, and it claps behind you, and then it does this with every, see? Like, with every thrust? Yeah, you get it. No, this is theory. Okay, forget about all of that. What were we doing? What are we on about? Oh god. Donos, that's right. Your mom's probably watching? Ah, shit. Akasin, Zimix02, Epimetrius, and Epimetrius again, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really, really appreciate that. Zimix, I really, really don't think that investing in solar panels would facilitate some sort of massive environmental destruction. I don't know the exact, like, lithium amount we need to, like, make it a viable energy source broadly, but I'm pretty sure it's doable. Okay? Excuse me. Lacey Purple Bear a second time. Cadsir and Mythaldu, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind gifted tier 1 subs. Really appreciate that. Any interest in having a convo with Denim? She was on the round table with you. I don't really like doing collabs if I can avoid it. What's this?
Bosch is very into bread pilling liberals. I think it's worth a shot to try and get on the stream. Maybe I'll ask him. I'll probably DM him and be like, hey, would you be interested in like having a conversation sometime about, I don't know, fucking co-ops or some shit, or having a conversation.
Is Denims a liberal? I thought Denims was a lefty. Yeah, I guess I can talk about leftism. Yeah, sure. Can't promise anything immediately, though. I'm a busy boy. Soakdem? Ugh, the Soakdems. They've tricked us before. Life Decoded and Hilltop Ironworks, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $5. Gimbo with the tier 2 sub, thank you. Rainbow Sugar Tits with the $2. Vosh Good. And Dragonfly Ona, thank you for the $8 Australian. Really appreciate that. Sociable G a second time, and Alloy, thank you all so much for the tier 1 subs. I really appreciate that, comrade. That's very, very kind of you. Dredge, the $5. What are your thoughts on Adult Swim and Tim Heidecker, and why? I mean, I thought Tim and Eric was pretty fucking hysterical back in the day. I wish I could just watch Tim and Eric clips with you guys. I know a lot of the people in my audience are too young to have seen Tim and Eric back in the day. Oh, God, dude. Some of the Tim and Eric sketches. Remember the Tim and Eric sketch that they were commissioned to do as an advertisement? For, fuck, what was the... They did an ad for the TV company. Remember? And it was like 5 minutes of that. Well, whatever. No, it's not what you guys are referring to. Whatever. You all suck. Shut up. Epimetrius, Dude Man, and Dredge, thank you all so much for the very kind $5. I used to play guitar, Dude Man. Never well. When I was like 15. My mom played guitar much better than me, so I would try to pick up on it. And Awesome09, Vosh is the name of an OC for a character, you know? Jeremiah Van Elgert with the incredibly kind $20. Here is more Japanese banjo money. Keep up the good work, you weeb. Thank you, comrade. I really appreciate that. And Sake Tanuki with the $10. Unless you're Vosh and you get hundreds for memeing. I also got recognized in League today while playing like a monkey. Feels bad, man. Nice. Your fame spreads, comrade. Jesus. Sociable G, Salem Flowers, and Moosimus. Thank you all so much for the very kind tier 1 subs. Back when I played League, I remember that occasionally I would get recognized as that annoying feminist dude who would occasionally call into Destiny's stream. And I would usually get pretty ruthlessly mocked for it, because back in the day, his community did not take kindly to me. Of course, it still doesn't now, but for different reasons. Rick Sanchez, nice name, Morty. Kalian Lindagoogle. Amir Sabri, and Corlix, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really, really, really appreciate that. Nice, Rick Sanchez. I'm really glad to hear that you're out of the alt-right pipeline. That's fucking rad. Happy to have you here, you know? We have fun. We try. You know, we do our best. LP Sunny Buddy, Axel, and Nicholas Silva, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I really appreciate that. After a co-op discussion, my brother still thinks owners are necessary to incentivize progress in starting new businesses. How do I push him over the edge? There are co-op models that allow for privileges to be deferred to the owner, but you can make that argument for any type of autocratic social organization. Like, you know, my brother likes the idea of democracy, but still believes there should be some kind of privilege for being the person to start up a new country. You know what I mean? Like being a king, you know, it's like, well, yeah, you can get advantages, but I don't think that means you get to be like a dictator. Alchemist, the original Spaz, and Corlix, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Fuck yeah, the original Spaz. I'm really, really, really happy to hear that. Oh, did Joe Biden never even call him a white supremacist? They just called him a militia member. Well, in that case, that's incredibly accurate. Hold on. The tanky is back. They were showering. Oh! Wait, hold on. They were cleaning themselves? This can't be a real tanky.
Hello, I'm so sorry. Could I have a moment
Yeah, sure.
just to switch off this just to go on my phone account because it's a bit difficult to speak on here.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Oh wait, my phone's dead. Let me go on my other desktop. Give me a moment.
Every time I talk to these people, it's like it's 2020. Like we all have headphones and mics, and it's like, hold on, let me connect the transistor to the fucking satellite dish so I can beam the audio to the fucking homemade cell tower that I'm using as a Wi-Fi emitter. You know, like. Is Vosh really quiet for anyone else? No, I was just talking off. There. Is this what you like? You like it to sound like I'm licking your fucking tongue? Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Hi, how are you? I'm doing great too.
Nice.
I'm a bit nervous to be on the stream, but I think we can have a good conversation.
Yeah, I can tell. You asked me how I was doing twice. All right, hit me up. What? Give me the. I have sinned, because I do not critically support the socialist democracy of North Korea. So tell me where I'm wrong, okay?
I think that as a socialist that wants socialism in the world, I don't understand how you could support the country that is South Korea or the United States. And I think the best way to undermine, especially if you don't even like North Korea, the best way to sort of undermine the United States' presence in Asia would probably be through supporting North Korea. And I don't really think they are so horrible. But yeah, I think generally they're not such a bad country, and I don't see why you wouldn't want to support them, especially since they have a very socialistic, for lack of a better word, labor system.
What? How does supporting North Korea bring us closer to global socialism? Because like they're not really like socialist. Socialism is economic democracy. They're not economically democratic or democratic in any sense, really.
I can show you, North Korea does have a democracy, even according to CIA-funded Radio Asia. There are political parties in North Korea, but it's a democracy. Also,
who picks who gets to run?
I mean, they have their whole democratic system. You can look into it if you'd like. It's very complex. It's very difficult to describe, but if you look through it, I would say it's very similar to the sort of way we pick representatives here in the United States.
Well, no, because the issue is, I feel like very often when I have these conversations, they rely on people's ignorance of the complexities of these systems. Like, the default assumption is that North Korea just has one leader and that they're tyrannical and they rule over everything. And then the reality is that there are a bunch of, like, democratic structures that have been set up underneath that leader, and then the tanky points at them and goes like, oh, no, actually, see, it's quite a bit more complicated than you thought. But then it turns out with even, like, a scant bit of investigation that all of those democratic systems are complete shams meant to promote the legitimacy of a very illegitimate government, and that there's no real, actual democracy. Like, even if there were these systems, the fact that they promote a cult of personality around their leaders the way they do pretty much discludes any possibility of legitimate democratic governance, you know?
Well, I would say that's just a lot more of an Asian thing, like the way Asians sort of. It sounds like I'm generalizing, but I would say the Asians in general. By Asians, I mean obviously East Asians, and generally just Asians entirely would probably fit this category. They typically have this cult of personality around the leader. That's just sort of how their culture works. Like if you like, according to that argument, I suppose you wouldn't call Japan democratic system just because they have a very similar cult of personality around the leader.
They don't think their prime minister is a god in Japan.
I mean, like, they have very similar thought processes. And also, I would say that when you're under such constant threat and imperialism, just like what's going on in North Korea, I would say that similar leader structure is very necessary.
No, you don't need to convince the people that they're following a god. I take issue with your assertion that Southeast Asia has like a culture of like submissiveness to an authoritarian leader. I don't think that's true at all. And if that was the case, then I would say that's even more of an argument why socialism is not going to come from that part of the world. Like, I don't think you can bear socialism out of like a deified leader with complete control over the government and with thought police who seek out people who are critical of the government and of the leader and then arrest or kill them. Like, this
How
doesn't
else
seem
would
like
you bring about socialism?
through economic democracy.
Do you realize that the capitalist systems and in the democratic system, especially in countries like the United States, would never allow true socialism to happen democratically? It needs to be done. Socialism is revolutionary. It needs to happen through a revolution.
Yeah, neither would North Korea. Why would North Korea ever allow socialism to flourish within their borders? It would mean a direct threat to the power of the established, entrenched political institutions.
I mean, if you look at it, like, so if North Korea was this like I cannot speak English. I'm sorry. If it was this state that was this monarchist state, like a lot of people think it is, then how come they have so many elements of socialist labor systems and stuff like that in their government? I can give you this really good document that talks about the complexities of the North Korean labor system. It's very hard to describe.
So there are cooperatives there that can operate independent of the wishes of the government?
Not independent within the wishes of the government, but definitely very large scale. Because the government is very widely supported in North Korea.
That's not.
It's democratic in that sense.
So was Adolf Hitler. You know, he had a 100% approval rating during the height of his regime.
I doubt it was 100%.
No,
but I would
yeah, it
be
was.
surprised.
You know what happened to the people who said they didn't?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was very high.
It was very, very high. You know what happened to the
mean,
people
there's
who
been.
Who didn't say they liked him? Who would be crazy enough to not say they support their leader in North Korea? Like, that's like a one-way trip to the fucking gas chambers over there.
It just kind of reminds me of this myth that people have about Saddam Hussein. Like, there was this myth that happened online that the Saddam Hussein's ballot system had two options, and people actually believed it. And the two options were Saddam Hussein or kill me and my entire family. Like, people actually believe this. This doesn't actually happen.
I don't know what
you're
saying autocratic governments with secret police who arrest political dissidents don't use things like that to test the loyalty of their citizens? Like, they don't have to put it on the ballot. It doesn't have to say on the ballot, you'll die if you don't approve of the dear leader. Like, it's implied, you know?
There's very established election systems that aren't even like viewed or anything like that. They've done reports on the election system in North Korea. It's not like that.
What election system?
Also, a lot of people will say that North Korea isn't socialist Well, I can send you this really good document by Mark. Do you like Marxist.org?
I think it depends. It collects a lot of text there. Why?
It's this really good document I think they did on North Korea. I'm not sure if it was them, but it was organization affiliated with them. I just don't think you're treating North Korea as it is.
You can
like it's a
provide the
socialist
document. You can provide the document if you want, but you still haven't suggested an instance of economic democracy within North Korea. And having
let
looked
me get
into
the
the democratic system within North Korea, it is not democratic. They have ballot boxes that are being watched by party officials. You know, an anonymous ballot is one of the most essential components of a free democracy, right?
Yeah, but you haven't given any proof that this is that it's being that they're actually acting on it being watched.
You came here to my stream.
Yes, I
Yes.
came to your stream, but you're making a claim about the North Korean election system right now, but you aren't giving me a proof that that they're actually acting on it and not just like watching the ballot.
Why would they watch the ballot if not to try to see what people are voting?
It's not like they're standing over their shoulder watching the ballot. They're just observing it.
Yes, they are doing that.
And did you know half of North Koreans have guns and artillery? If they didn't support North Korea, we would just overthrow the government.
Okay.
My point is more that you're just not looking into North Korea well enough. Like you're just sort of discounting.
Well, send me that document sometime, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna look through it on this
look
really
through
good
it. Okay.
resource.
Do you have any final points you want to make?
I don't think. Like, look at North Korean. The North Korean labor system, right? It's very socialist. They used to call themselves socialist. Juche is a type of socialism.
How is the economic system democratic?
They basically, if you, there's a lot of like worker-owned cooperatives and stuff like that. It's not like there's a capitalist system here.
They're owned by the workers?
Yes.
Really? So they don't have to operate under any government, like they aren't operating for the government, they're private in the sense that they aren't deferred to state power?
They're deferred to state power in that they're like controlled by the state and the profits go to the state.
How the fuck are they worker owned if they're controlled by the state?
Basically the way it's operated is through the workers. Like if the workers want a law in North Korea, like for the labor system, they can decide how like their hours work and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So North Korean workers can just decide to lower their hours and their output, and there's no sort of state punishment for that?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't believe you.
After this conversation is done, I'm going to send you a really good document. One second, let me try to find it. Right. It's called the DPRK reading.
Okay, send me the document. I love you very much. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll take a look at this together. Okay, peace out. Wait, this is from Marxist.org? This is a Google Doc. They left the call. That was boring as fuck. You guys want to talk to tankies, you have no taste. I've actually seen this before. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea reading guide. This is where the real theory comes out, people. It's when you read gigantic Google Docs with a bunch of links in it. A long read. This is how you learn about things, guys. That guy actually sounded mentally challenged. A lot of people in chat were spamming troll, but having talked with a lot of tankies before, I think this is pretty par for the course. The problem with North Korea is that there are no reliable sources. Dude, if the government is so fucking locked down and so authoritarian that you can't even get external journalistic verification of the claims made, that's on North Korea, not on the West. We have literally dozens of people who have fled North Korea and have given detailed, reliable, and independently verifiable accounts of the tyranny of that state. Like, this isn't hard. He lied about North Korean gun ownership. You don't need to worry about fact-checking him. Any idiot watching this stream who was in any way, shape, or form convinced by that guy's points probably isn't going to listen to anything you have to say. They handpick all candidates in elections. Yep. Same as China. Listen to how democratic this is. Oh my God. The elections have been variously described as show elections or a political census. Seats are uncompetitive as all candidates are chosen by the Democratic Front for the Reunification of the Fatherland. Very normal term. Because of the near 100% turnout, elections double as unofficial censuses. The Inmenban Neighborhood Watch reportedly watches the elections to identify and investigate no-shows. A voter may cross off the candidate's name to vote against him or her, but must do so in a separate booth without any secrecy. An act of defiance many North Korean defectors have claimed is too risky to even attempt. In recent elections, there have been separate boxes for no votes. See, you have to go there and, in front of party leadership, indicate that you're voting against the state-chosen. While Vosh Cubans who have fled Cuba say it's a tyrannical system, except Cuba is transparent. We can send journalists to Cuba and see what's going on there. There are Cubans who have fled Cuba who've said it's tyrannical. There are also Cubans who've said it's pretty nice over there. We can investigate it independently. That is not the case for North Korea. Voting against the official candidate or refusing to vote at all is considered an act of treason, and those who do so face the loss of their jobs and housing along with extra surveillance. Damn, dude, that's crazy. That was citation 16. Foregone result in North Korea's local elections from Al Jazeera. From 2015. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Bronze Cliff. Vosh, I found out about you through watching your debate with Tim Pool and decided to go through some of your old content. But after finding out you were racist and want to feminize men, I've begun to lose hope for you. This is exactly why every black person should register as an independent instead of moving left or right, because neither has their best interest. Bronze Cliff, do you want to talk? You sound like you'd be way more fun to have on. I'm down. Bronze Cliff, if you have Discord, send me a friend request at Vosh5559 or Vosh hashtag 5559. The Discord's closed right now, people. You're not going to be able to get in with the link. It's, yeah, Vosh hashtag 5559. Yeah. And, yeah, do it. Maybe North Korea is like Wakanda. It hides its glory. Yeah, that's why they don't let reporters, like, move too far into North Korea. Because, like, if you step past it, you go past the holographic dome that projects a bunch of, like, dilapidated buildings to the outside. And then you step inside, and it's fucking Wakanda. Oh, I guess the Discord is open. Yeah. Check out this Major Karma. Right-winger assaults people, gets knocked out. What is this? I will never, ever show something like this on my fucking stream. This is a fucking horizontal capture of a vertical recording of a horizontal video. I would rather kill myself than dignify this. No, it's disgusting. I'm not doing it. What was the name of that person? It was like Bronze something, right? Hey, Bronze something. What's your Discord name? Is it Bronze something? Was it? Bronze Cliff. That's it. Bronze Cliff. I'm almost ready, says Bronze Cliff. I'm getting it right now, says Bronze Cliff. Damn. Well, Bronze Cliff, I hope your Discord name is the same as your chat name. Otherwise, you're going to have to tell me what the fuck your Discord name is. We'll look at the non-degenerate version of the video in a second. In a second. Jesus. Hate that. I'm making an account. You don't have a Discord account? Okay. I'll read donos while we're waiting for that to pan out. Sociable G and Fuj. Thank you both very much for the very kind tier 1 subs. I really appreciate that. Midnight Kitten Boy, the tier 2 sub. Thank you very, very much. Pew Pew. And Mistiff with the $5. Appreciate that as well. God damn it. Comrade Spence, the very kind tier 3 sub. Longtime watcher here. First sub here. Thanks for helping me with my rhetoric. Anytime, comrade. I really appreciate it. He said 3 minutes. Gotcha. Dylan got attacked in the march. God damn it. Fuck is going on? Look away from Dylan for fucking 12 hours. What happens? Jesus Christ. I am home and I am safe, even if maced. Wish I could say the same for everyone else. Proud Boys charged us and started swinging, macing people. One stabbed a girl who must have only been like 5'4". Did my best to go for the medics. Thanks to everyone who helped keep me safe. Jesus Christ. I'm going to like and retweet this, and I hope you don't interpret that as me supporting the contents of the tweet, okay? I always feel weird about that. You know when somebody tweets out, like, my dog died, and, like, you want to like it to indicate that you saw it, but you don't want to, like, you don't like it, you know, you're not happy. Yeah, it was at the Million MAGA March, which means that he was, he would have been near Nick Fuentes, you know? Ugh. Anyway, I'll DM him some ambrosia or something. Ooh, Dolphin, thanks to the very kind $10. Really appreciate that. Warframer Gaming, Mistiff, and Beans Bitai, thank you all so much for the very kind $5. AT522 Derek, thank you for the $5.69. Really appreciate that. Yes, guarantee you the people who are trying to cancel Ollie are the same people who tried to cancel ContraPoints. 100%. Tomabo, Insatiable Hunger, Prince Rosalium, and Kyle Opum. Thank you all so much for the $5. Found you from the Pac-Man interview. Love the content. Kind of reminds me of Hassan's streams. Yeah, I mean, we're basically like the two big socialist live streamers, so there's going to be some synchronicity there. I'm really glad to hear you're enjoying the content, comrade. Anyway, I would like to be like Hassan, because that motherfucker pulls big numbers. Jesus Christ. I have not read the 70s manga, Rose of Versailles. It's written by a leftist woman. It's radicalized thousands of Japanese women. Jesus Christ. Well, that's cool. I can look at that. And Tuxonaut, thanks to $10. Your shirt is super cool. Where'd you get it? I have no idea. This shirt is very old. I have no idea where I got this from. I'm glad you guys like it. It's like just a regular old shirt, you know? But, yeah. Now, here's Bronze Cliff. Okay. Over under on this guy just screaming the N-word at me as soon as I call. Over under? You guys decide.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
All right. I wanted to talk to you about something right now.
Hit me up.
So, I found out about you through Tim Pool a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, I think I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
You're not echoing on my end. I might be echoing on your end. Wait, hold on. No, it sounds good.
Let me mute the stream.
Ah, yes, that'll be a problem. But you're not echoing from my end.
All right, good. So am I good right now?
Yeah, you sound way the fuck clearer than most of the people who come on here.
Okay, that's good. So I found out about you through what's his face, Tim Pool, and I was also a fan of like Candace Owens and Larry Elder and like Thomas Sowell. And I've been like watching some of your videos on them too. So like I kind of got an understanding of how you like feel about Black conservatives.
Oh, it's no different than how I feel about conservatives in general.
Yeah, but so I was going through some of your old videos and I came across a clip of you saying something that was like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Was the clip with that prospective congresswoman at the RNC? Was it that one?
No, you said that you called a Black person a house Negro.
When did I say that?
I have the clip right now. I can play it for you.
Yeah, link it.
I can play it for you in the microphone. I got it pulled up already.
Oh, you can play it, I guess?
About Central Park 5, there's nothing here mentioned about racism. If anything, he's talking about having a safe city for Black and brown and white people. That's a narrative.
This fucking house Negro brought on paper the fucking ad Are you kidding me?
So that was the clip.
Yeah.
And when I first saw that, I was like,
I wonder if that's out of
that-
context, because I feel like that's probably me saying something somebody else would say. What
I can
video is
explain
that
the
from?
context for you.
Well, what
It's
video is
called
that from?
Conservatives, Progressives, and Vosh Debate LGBTQ Issues with Vice, Part 1.
Hold on, wait. Conservatives. Wait, so is this from somebody else's video?
No, this is your video on your YouTube channel.
Progressives, Vice, LGBT issues.
It's 4209, and you say House Negro like 4216 or something like that.
Hold on. Vosh, Vosh, LGBTQ, conservative, progressive. Here we go. Okay, from 1 year ago. Oh yeah, this is really old. July 5th, 2019. This is back when I was in my first apartment. Okay, you said it was 43 minutes in?
No, 42. 4209.
I actually have here the op-ed that Trump put out about Central Park 5. There's nothing here mentioned about racism. If anything, he's talking about having a safe...
I remember this guy. Okay, wait, hold on. This is for chat's sake, because this is old memes, okay? This fucking guy. This guy went to a Vice panel about whether Trump was a racist or something like that, and he knew they were going to bring up the Central Park 5 thing, so he brought a printout of the page that Donald Trump took out calling for the execution of these kids, and he brought out, he was like, it doesn't say anything here, like there was no N-word here. I remember that, dude. This guy was amazing. Yeah, that's super unfortunate language. I do think that there's a particular I do think there's something like particularly bad about like black people or trans people who kind of like sell out and to like racists or trans folks.
How is this selling out though? That's what I don't understand. How is this selling out?
Well, I think that the Republican Party is like objectively a white supremacist organization.
Black people have every right to feel disaffected by Democrats. And Trump has come out with actual plans on how to help the black community, and he's also talked with like Ice Cube about like his plan to help the black community as well. Other people wouldn't even meet for him. Joe Biden. Hold on.
Okay.
And Joe Biden also says something. Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton have also said stuff in the past as racist. Like Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He also said like poor kids are not as smart as white kids.
Okay,
and
so wait.
Said,
okay, hold on. So I know all of that. I'm not exactly a fan of the Democrats. Okay, so again. There's nothing wrong with black people not liking the Democratic Party. In fact, I think that's probably a good thing. I don't like the Democratic Party. I do think that simping for Trump or the Republican Party is objectively like enabling white supremacy. Yeah, 100%.
How?
So hold on, wait, because we're getting besides the point here. The point that I was trying to make before I said that was I still think that's unfortunate language to use. Over the past year, I've gotten a lot less edgy. But I still think that even back then, the language that I used, it didn't belie racism. It just belied an incredibly, what's the term? It's like, that
was an edginess coming out of you.
Well, it's a better term than edgy. Irreverent. An irreverent attitude. Flippant. Yeah, flippant or irreverent attitude towards
it was
like
a Freudian slip.
Well, no, because I didn't say it like accidentally or anything.
I'm joking with you.
Yeah, but anyway, it was like to describe the concept of tokenization. But yeah, I disavow that 100%. I think there are better ways to use the better language to use to describe the problem I have with that guy's behavior.
All right. Well, I feel like the reason I said something about that black people should be independent is because I feel like neither party really has their best interests right now. They should just focus on themselves and like. Everybody, I feel like instead of focusing like being a party line voter, you should vote based on what policies appeal to you. And if that's the Republican Party, then vote for that party. It doesn't matter if they're racist or not, like, because think about it. If they're actually racist, if that is only in their head and doesn't, like, what policies has Trump passed that are racist? How is he, what policies?
So wait, we're bouncing between a couple of positions here. So if you don't think that it matters if the Republicans are racist, why would you ask me to provide examples of racist policies?
Because I'm saying, okay, listen, if the Republican Party has come out with things or has proposed ideas that could help the black community, why does it matter if there's individual Republicans who are racist?
I'm not saying individual. So the specific debate they were having there was about Trump. whether Trump is a
Oh, are we still
racist.
talking about this? I thought we was moving on.
Well, I assumed that's what you were referring to because that was sort of
Oh,
the
you
thing
said
you
you
threw at me.
disavowed
But
it.
well, yeah,
So,
but with the Republican Party, I'm not talking about individual racists. I'm talking about the general predilection of the Republican Party. But like, if you want to have a conversation about that, it's like a really complicated, and I know how it's going to go. I'm going to say, well, here are some racist things, and you're going to say, well, they didn't say they were being racist at the time, and I'm going to say, well, you have to infer from their actions what their general goals are, and then you're going to say, you can't just call people racist because you're assuming they're racist, and then I'll say, well, no person is going to just say they're racist. You have to infer their behavior from their actions, and then you're going to say,
give me an example. You're saying a lot of like generalities. I need you to be specific. Give me like an example, something I can work with.
For like racism? Do we want to talk
Yeah,
about
of
Donald
what you're
Trump's?
talking about right now.
Yeah, okay, so we
Oh
can
no,
start with
I know he's done racist things in the past. I'm saying, what has he done that has limited the like ability for Black people to succeed in America?
I would say opposing the BLM movement's a pretty good one, considering it's a historical civil rights movement.
I mean, okay, I get what you mean by that. I get what you mean by that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like pretty off the bat. He hasn't just like condemned rioters. Like he said that BLM supporters are un-American terrorists. Like he's come down on it really hard.
In a sense, he's right though, because I mean, like, look at what they're doing. They were destroying Black businesses in like low income areas with majority Black people. People at the protests. What do you mean?
But there were tens of millions of people who protested for BLM. So when we were talking
and
about
a lot of Black businesses got hurt in that process.
Yeah, by an incredibly small minority of rioters, not like a huge. Again, like keep in mind everything you're saying right now also applies to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s civil rights protests. In fact, back then things were proportionally more violent, I would be willing to bet. So any arguments you're making about this now would have also applied back then. If we had had Trump around back in the 1960s, he probably would have been saying, oh, they were anti-American too.
Well, that's just speculation, but okay.
But your arguments apply to the civil rights movement as well.
I get what you mean. So are you saying like they were also like violent back then, like smashing stuff?
There were riots during the civil rights movement, 100%. But because we're a couple decades removed, we can point at that and go, okay, there were riots, but the underlying social movement was way more important. I think we're going to see the same thing about BLM.
Maybe my school is like kind of like whitewashed it and said like it's more peaceful than they were, because I've never heard about civil rights, like the civil rights movement being like, because you think about it, like they look peaceful from all the things I've seen, like the civil rights movement.
Yeah, they also don't tell you that
MLK
MLK was a socialist. Yeah, they give you this version of MLK where he's like this hyper peaceful, almost Gandhi-like figure, and that way, when there are future civil rights movements, they can denounce those because there's violence involved. In reality, violence is a part of every civil rights movement. You know?
Okay, well, I get what you mean by that. I see what you mean, but I want to go back to them like how we should vote independent instead, because I feel like we look at how 90% of Black people are voting for, the Democratic Party. Like it's almost as if we've been like completely given our faith to them. You know what I mean?
Well,
You were even talking about this, huh?
Well, they're better than the Republicans. Third parties can't win in America, so you might as well vote for the party, the one of the two possible winning parties, and vote for the one that's best. You know?
I get it. Well, so you think the Democrats are better than the Republicans? Because why?
Yeah, I mean on almost any issue. Like we could run down. We could run down like a lot of things, but yeah, like on almost every issue, I would say they're better. I would struggle to think. I don't even think Republicans are better on guns. Like I'm pro-gun, but I think that the Republicans treat guns like some sort of like magical dick extension. I think that leads to a lot of problems in this country.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. And the other thing, hold on. What else did I say? I think I said something about like feminizing men and whatnot.
Yeah,
I also said that in the original message.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't think they want to. Yeah, but straight women don't like effeminate men, bro. That's just the reality of it. Like, and encouraging men to be like more feminine is just gonna make them struggle with like women who are straight, because women don't like that.
I generally think, in my experience, that most of the men who struggle to find women are usually insecure guys who are sad they're not more masculine, and they keep trying and they don't succeed, and that like puts people off. I've seen many men just embrace femininity, and I've never seen one like not have much sexual success, you know? I think being
I've seen the
confident's like the
exact
big thing here.
opposite, my man. I've seen the exact opposite.
Like what
I've seen
feminine
men
traits am
who
I
have.
encouraging that are unattractive to women?
Well, I think like in some of your older ones, like I think it's just like a stream. Like you were talking about pegging or something like that, and you were talking about how it's like incredibly fun or something like that.
Well, I've
And
never
I
been
was like,
pegged, but some
nah,
people find
like,
it really fun.
well, I just feel like encouraging men to embrace that type of behavior is just like it's gonna lead to them like kind of like questioning their sexuality.
What's wrong with that?
You shouldn't. You should be confident in your sexuality.
Well, questioning your sexuality doesn't mean you're not confident. It means that you're exploring the possibility that your initial assessment was incorrect. Like,
No,
if a person is so not straight that getting pegged makes them think they're gay, they were never confident in their sexuality.
I don't know. I feel like there's just certain things that push men towards like coming to like strange conclusions about their sexuality.
I mean, if a guy gets
Like
pegged and then realizes
unnatural
he wants like
things.
real dick, I mean, that's cool, right? More for me. I don't know. I just don't see how it's an issue.
I just feel like encouraging. I feel like we should encourage men to do things that are masculine and like instead because the effeminate nature is the root of their insecurity. They don't want to be effeminate. They'd rather be something else.
But there are men who want
That's
to be
what causes
effeminate men.
their issues. What? Who?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I
Hold on.
don't
Not
have
like
one
who
like on
specifically. I
hand
mean,
right now. I
what?
mean, I
Like,
literally live with a femboy. Like, I have a roommate who's a femboy. I mean, there are men who want to be feminine. I just think people should be like who they want to be. I just don't know why. Like, say for example, a guy is feminine and wants to be feminine, and then they don't have much luck with women or whatever. Like, isn't that their right?
okay.
Shouldn't they express themselves
No, no, no,
freely?
no, no. Hold on. It's not because I don't think they should. It's because I think they're making their life more difficult. Because think about it, like let's say if like I had a transgender like kid or something like that,
Mhm.
I feel like it would be harder for them. It would like the further you stray away from like like what's like socially acceptable, the harder you have made your life. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah, that's
it's
like
just
just an
you're gonna make your
incredibly
life just way
cucked
harder.
argument, though. Like, you could make the same argument about slaves, dude. Like, whatever, this is how it is. Just like, that's just such a complacent mindset, you
Wait,
know?
hold on,
Why
hold
not
on. What
fight and struggle against the status
why
quo?
would you wait? No, you can't compare those two things. Those two things are not comparable.
I
But
can absolutely, I will confidently compare those things. Yeah. Why should
yeah,
why
but
should people accept things that make their lives worse when they can fight against them to make their lives
because
better?
it's not gonna change. That's the thing.
You can make a
People
boy
have too much faith that it'll change. It's not gonna change.
First of all, they
Like
said
this
that
is the
about
same thing. Like
slavery too.
despite what politician you have, things aren't gonna like this. Like the lively, like the well being of the average like American or African American isn't gonna increase. It's
Wait,
not
are you
gonna
black?
improve. Yes.
Okay, you realize if you were born here 150 years ago, you would have been a slave, right? Like, clearly some things
I
do
mean,
change.
yeah. I mean, it's just hard to see that like becoming a reality right now.
Yeah, but we change all the time. I mean, gay marriage was only legalized nationally only 5 years ago. With transgender people, we've seen a huge surge in support and public acceptance just over the past couple of years. We can absolutely fight for change. I don't know, it just seems like a really cucked mentality, like, don't be a femboy because society will dislike you. Isn't the typical Byronic hero, like the archetype of the Western hero, somebody who knows society rejects them, but who challenges those norms anyway and bends the world to their will? I don't know. I think that being a femboy is the most masculine thing you can be. You're literally fucking the planet.
I guess. So it's just like when I was talking to somebody who was like struggling with this specifically, they were saying like when I told them it'll be way harder to embrace it and whatnot, and that they should just try and like change that, like they should become like I don't know, go to the gym or something like that, or start like getting into more masculine hobbies. They said they like appreciated that advice, so I felt
Yeah,
like it would work for more people.
like, what if we went back like 70 years ago and you liked a white girl or something, and then somebody was like, dude, that's going to be really rough. You really think you're going to be able to make it with a white girl? You're going to get fucking lynched, dude. Just chill, okay? Just don't. Like, you can't do that. Like, is that like a good way to live your life, you know? I mean, shouldn't we collectively fight against the terrible social standards that we live in? People did used to say that. I mean, people did used to say that about black guys and white girls. I mean, people still say that about black guys and white girls, you know? But I think the world is better when people challenge these systems.
Okay, well, Yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
I'm not saying like every guy has to be. I mean, I'm not like a super feminine dude or anything. Just I think people should be able to do what they want, you know?
Oh, and the last thing, well, I mean, you're not really into the pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing, but that's kind of where like I wanted to go.
Yeah, go for it. No, wait,
Cause
I
like you
really
know,
like individual achievement and ambition. I fetishize the hell out of it. I just think we should make the system better so that people have a better shot
yeah,
at
but
it.
that's what I'm saying. That's like, I just feel like that's a long shot. That's all.
But
It just
how?
seems like, I mean, look at how hard they've been fighting against like look at how many we got 70 million people who are against affirmative action or who like think the entire Black Lives Matter movement is just like completely like anti like we're becoming more hyper polarized and you can't get anything done in a hyper polarized system. Like 50 years ago we were less hyper polarized. Hyper polarization makes things impossible.
Well, I agree with that, but that's because we need to get rid of the Republican Party. That's the main issue there. They're like a festering cancer, a
But
tumor.
that's not wait, how would you get rid of the Republican Party?
Well, I think the first step would be to get rid of the Electoral College. If we only did presidential elections by
We've
popular
had,
vote, we
see,
would
this is
win
what I'm
almost
talking.
every
We've
time.
had the Electoral College since like the founding of this country. How are
That's
you going to get rid of the
a
Electoral College?
fallacy of tradition. Just because we've had something for a while doesn't mean that it's
Bro,
good.
but you have to think about reality. You have to think about like what is most likely. What is the likelihood we get rid of the Electoral College? Like
I
the
mean, if
chances
you
of that are
want, I can.
very
If
very
I
low.
mean, we literally have the Interstate Voter Compact, which is a completely legal and non-constitutionally binding way of circumnavigating it. So,
Also, the thing about slavery, there had always been people against slavery, even going back to like the 1600s, people who have always recognized it was morally wrong. But the Electoral College, that's not as transparent, that's not as obvious. There had been people writing literature about like abolitionist literature since what was that one guy who was with Christopher Columbus, who was like criticizing all the things he was doing with like cutting off people's hands and whatnot.
but there are
Like people had
states.
always
But you
recognized
could
there was
say the
something
same
bad about
thing.
slavery.
You could say the same thing about women's suffrage. You could say the same thing about all. There are and the opposition to the Electoral College in this country has been around for over 100 years. I mean, it's been a long-standing thing. Usually from people living in the northern states. Yeah, I mean, my issue is you seem to be jumping back and forth between what you want and what you think you can do. And I feel like, and I'm not trying to like prescribe anything, I feel like you have a very pessimistic outlook on politics, which isn't necessarily unwarranted because politics is generally very depressing. But I think that, I mean, if you want to change things, you just have to push back against that as hard as you can. Like, there's no, abstemiousness rewards only failure. There's no place to go but forward. I don't think I'm going to like single-handedly abolish the Electoral College or anything, but I think I can participate in making this country better, which I think in large part begins with making the Republican Party politically irrelevant, and then maybe we'll be able to get something done around
But
here.
where are those 70 million Republicans gonna go? They're not just gonna, you know what I mean?
They can just sit here and watch us make their lives better for them.
I guess. I feel like there's gonna be like some sort of revolt or something like that.
Sure,
but maybe not.
Then
like,
they're the BLM, right? They're the ones
but I
who
guess,
are
I guess,
threatening
I guess
violence.
political violence is necessary because I mean, like with Saudi Arabia, like if we were to give women rights in Saudi Arabia, people would need to die. People would have to go fight wars over there. Like we're not just gonna ask Saudi Arabia to give women rights. You know what I mean? Like I guess in the end, like people must die for a cause.
Well, there are feminist organizations in Saudi Arabia. Maybe one day, if the United States stops supporting their corrupt monarchy, they'll be able to actually take some control and make their country less of a shithole, you know? We're the ones who are keeping their foot down. We internationally legitimize Saudi Arabia.
I see what you mean. Well, all right. Well, I mean,
I know. Listen, wait. I just want to say, wait. You're way the fuck less crazy than fucking 98% of the people I bring on here. Okay, I just want to say I really do appreciate you coming on, especially since you made like a Discord account. And I want to say, by the way, I am happy to talk to you again in the future. And with regards to the clip, where I said the house Negro thing about the earlier guy, I just want to say that I recognize that language is like super fucking bad for like political expediency, and I appreciate you bringing it up because I had forgotten that I had said that, and I think it's a good reminder that we have to be way more careful about the shit that we say.
Yeah, I guess it was
I guess I
optics.
just said it again, but it doesn't count that time.
It was nice talking to you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Have a wonderful day or night or wherever the fuck you are.
You too. Take care.
Peace. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good conversation. I'm happy I talked to that guy. The future femboy, yeah. I miss edgy Fosh. No. Look, there's a delight to being able to be edgy, but at the end of the day, you could say the same thing about like the joy of being able to be like mean to your siblings. Like there's a sort of freeing. I think that the edginess that I have now, which is more controlled and sort of precise and well directed, I think that's better. I think it's just generally better, and I think I'm funnier too, frankly. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Speaking on that thing, are you still gung ho about calling women femoids? Ironically, I don't think I've said femoids in like weeks, have I? I think I say it pretty infrequently now. Not because I give a fuck about your feelings, more just because the joke is worn a little bit more thin. Yes. Anyway, that was a really good convo. So, yeah. Who's even offended by femoid? Well, here's the issue that I had with the word femoid, okay? I think it's a delightfully funny word. It's so dumb, you know? And sometimes when I see people, I'll call them a femoid. Like if they're like fucking I was about to say Lindsey Graham cuz Lindsay, you know? That's not a femoid. Just well, like we were watching someone like I don't know, Candace Owens or whatever. Or Abigail Shapiro, and I was like, this femoid. But the issue with that is that when I say it, it's just hilarious. It's a gut buster. But chat gets it in their head. Chat gets it in their head, you know? And then they start calling everybody a femoid, even when it's not funny. And that's annoying enough on its own. But then if you go even further, and this happened, then they'll start calling people femoid when they call in. And that's really weird, because what you're essentially doing there is a biologically prescriptivist gender assertion about people who are calling in. What if a trans guy calls in? What if a non-binary person with a feminine voice comes in? You start spamming femoid in chat, and you're like, unironically, like no different from like a trans girl getting on voice chat while playing TF2 and people making like fun of her for it, you know? Like the outcome is identical, you know what I mean? So the point is that all of you ruin it, and it's only funny when I do it. Vosh, isn't that Count Dankula's defense of just a joke? Yeah, the difference is when my audience does it, I call them the fuck out in it. When Count Dankula's audience does their little fucking Nazi windmill dance for months and months on end, and all he ever does is enable it and play along with it, big difference there. Anyway, that was a really good convo. Dude, when the guy who I was talking to just said that he hadn't been taught in school about the violent elements of the civil rights movement, I love it when oh god, that guy was so fucking honest. Nobody is that honest. That is insane how honest that guy was, dude. Holy shit. Usually people will instead just say, no, there was no violence during the civil rights movement. They'll say it confidently. That guy, God, this is such a good thing. I think that guy is actually really cool. Fuck, I should have told him this. That guy instead said, I wasn't taught that. He didn't say that's wrong. He said, I wasn't taught that. That is such a indicator of intellectual honesty. Nobody fucking does that. God, that is so important, you know? Nobody does that. Not even sometimes I don't do this. Sometimes when I feel, you know, like off on a point, I'll be like, oh, well, I hadn't. Being able to do that, I think, tremendous show of character. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to be weird or anything. Just not something that I get to enjoy very much. I'm talking to somebody and I feel like they're actually listening to me. Yeah, I saw the Dylan Burns thing. Yeah, nobody's taught that, Vosh. Yeah, well, the American education system is trash. But there's a very specific reason why we teach about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. the way we do. For example, what did you hear about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in middle school and in high school? The I Have a Dream speech. What do you learn in college? Letter from a Birmingham jail. Why? What's the difference there? What's the distinction between the two that only one of them gets taught in higher education and one of them gets taught in, you know, the other? Isn't it sad the fact that somebody in a political discussion being open to new ideas is a fucking marvel and unheard of in 2020? Well, the people like that are unironically, I don't know if the dude's still in chat, whatever, but I'm not trying to be weird. Usually when people call in, I don't like talking about them after they've left because it feels weird. But I guess in this case, it's not critical, so. But, anyway, people like that are unironically like what this country needs. I would actually, I think I would rather take a country full of people with that disposition than I would a country that's full of people who are dogmatically liberal or dogmatically like Sokdem, you know? Because dogmatism is the enemy of like introspection, and it prevents people from adapting their positions, you know? Whatever. The femboy apocalypse is coming one way or another, boys. No stopping it. I got letter from Birmingham jail in an AP class. Well, I should disclose. I went to Beverly Hills High School, and I went into AP history classes. So I did get letter of a Birmingham jail younger than a lot of other people. But I know that most people. Vosh, do you ever let down your hair? Sometimes. I mean, but don't college professors teach AP or no? My AP classes were not taught by a college professor. It was just taught by a high school teacher. Professor Hinojosa. I wonder if Professor Hinojosa... Here, wait, I can probably check. Yeah, AP Comp. Wait, is this old? AP Comp 2010 schedule. Sorry about that. Staff, social studies. Roll Hinojosa, yeah, hold on. There we go. Damn, dude, he's hot. What the fuck? I can say that now. I've graduated. I'm 26, okay? I'm allowed to. Oh no, he's hot. Show pics? No. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? Did I see Zan's debate with Dusty? I saw part of it. Oh, I was just gonna say. Oh, I was gonna do this with my hair. Whoa! Need to brush it. There we go. Was the other way? Well, now it looks goofy. Get back over there. There we go. I'm probably gonna cut my hair soon. We'll see. Difference between college and high school education. There's not that much of a difference, dude. It really depends on the college and the high school. Some high school teachers will just like not give a fuck. You just do homework and that's it. And some college professors are incredibly dedicated and stuff. Really varies.
And I do not care.
This guy made a video agreeing with me? What is this? HoovyTube. What is HoovyTube? Have I heard this before? Vosh agrees with conservatism. Conservatism is good. I get the weirdest fucking... Okay, what is it?
About me getting even more money.
Now listen, peoples.
Just out of spite, I will put copyrighted music here.
Okay.
Because I'm not a grifter and I do not care if my videos make a lot of money. I agree with Vosh. Is things about like the LGBT community and the black community and people who are not white.
You're fucking a white male!
What the fuck am I watching right now?
families and it's creating pathologies that are secluded from the society. However, I have never met a person strong-willed enough to take drugs responsibly, because THC can help you lose weight. Poland needs a politician who will like fix all those issues, and I'm just worried that if teenagers might it's a conservative virtue, can't you see how all of those things I'm describing are so perfect with an adult? I'm not ready for it as well because people my age are developing parent-child relationships.
What? Why with the bruh noise? I genuinely have no idea. I've been defeated by this video. This person does SFM animations? 1 month ago, 1 million views? Fortnite versus TF2, 32 minutes? Well, this person looks like they're very talented at SFM movie making. I mean, they have a talent I don't have. I respect that. And then here's a video on me, I guess. It's all at, wait. Wait. How far back do I have to go? Am I the only non-SFM SFM? Here's a Discord announcement. 6.2 million views. And then here I am. That is very weird. Well, I don't know what's going on with all this politics-wise, but the SFMs look really cool. Who even watches TF2 SFM videos? Here's my hot take, okay? Unironically, the TF2 community and the SFM community and everybody who's ever played Gmod have probably contributed more to online creativity than like almost any other fucking outlet or franchise. I'm just calling it like the Gmod umbrella because it all kind of fits under, but that whole thing has just done so much for the internet, you know? It's insane. Anyway, the video seems to be... Did they re-upload the video? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I should have just read the description. Voss should realize conservatives have got the same goals as him. They're just terrible at expressing that fact. Voss, you act in good faith. I hope this video reaches you. I never get told I act in good faith. That feels amazing. So leftists can begin to build solidarity with right-leaning people. We have the same goals, just framed differently because conflict gives views. Okay. I'll watch the whole thing on my own time because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make entertaining commentary out of this. So we'll see. Proud Boys are rioting? Okay. What does he think your goals are? When the video began and he said I agree with Vosh on LGBT issues, I thought he was going to play the clip from like 2 years ago. Where where the one from the Thought Slime stream where I was like, these trans people canceling contrary. You know? I thought he was going to bring that up. Yeah, the Gmod community is ideologically still stuck in 2010. Okay, hold on. Let's run through a few donations. This has been a very strange stream. Asayano, thank you for the 4 gifted tier 1 subs. That is incredibly kind of you, and I really, really appreciate it. Presto Puma, Avon Storebrand, and MPH97, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. Oh, yeah, Presto Puma. I guess I give it a look. And MPH, happy you're not going down the alt-right pipeline, man. That's very preferable. Alpal751 and Tuxonaut, thank you both very much for the incredibly kind $10. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Alpal. Tuxonaut, I have no idea where I got this shirt. I got it back when I didn't have much money, so probably from Target or something, you know? Marie, Tyler, 4 Great, and Brian27, thank you all so much for the very kind $5. I really appreciate that. Saki Tanuki with the super kind $10. My biggest gripe with Russiagate is, despite claiming Russiagate hacked the DNC servers and destroyed our integrity, the DNC did nothing to prevent a repeat. Well, I'm not exactly a big fan of how the DNC handled the Russiagate situation. I'm not going to deny that. Pokemon Professor Herb, Cynthia Cecil, and Nicholas Webb, thank you all so much for the incredibly kind $5. I am trying so fucking hard not to cough right now. What vids of yours should I watch to get to know you? My God, Cynthia Cecil. I don't know. I'm just such a multifaceted guy. You should ask my community that. Guys, what are good videos to watch? I'm most known for my debates, so probably something like that, right? Unfortunately, I think I'm reaching the point where okay. Folks, I can't promise that I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow because I do have D&D. Fuck, I have to do D&D with a cough. God damn it, I DM. Ugh. There are still plenty of donos to be read, and I apologize for that, but I'm going to be reading all of them when I next stream, the latest of which is going to be Monday. And I know a lot of you are actually going to be prone to worry here, but I don't actually have COVID. I have a recurring cough that comes back from time to time. It is a product of me having had tuberculosis when I was younger, which made my lungs kind of shit. But this has happened plenty of times before. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that there have been times in the past where I've had a difficult time talking because of a cough. Anyway, feels like some boomer shit, but what are you going to do, right? Gotta live with it. Love you all very much. Again, if you donated and I haven't read it, I'll go over that when I next stream. That'll either be tomorrow or more likely Monday. I apologize for ending early. Unironically, though, this has been a super fun stream. Been really chill. Really glad I got to hang out with you guys. We'll go over the rest later. And if you're watching right now and you're enjoying the content, you're not subscribed, consider doing so. I don't always have a cough. You know, sometimes I'm capable of talking for more than 5 or 6 seconds without pursing my lips and concentrating on not coughing for a second. So yeah, give it a shot. Love you guys. See you all soon. Wait. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Is this right? I have gotten an insane number of subs over the course of this stream. Where are these people coming from? Is this from the David Pakman interview? Where is this coming from? What's the math on this? This is like 1,000 subscribers. Wait, hold on. I haven't done anything big lately. Is it just an algorithm boost? The Hippy Dippy podcast? No, I'm much larger than everyone else there put together, I think. I mean, I guess that could be it. That Pakman interview was pretty cringe, citing Lenin and Mao to an audience of liberals. I thought optically it was okay because I was indicating that even these... So, I'll explain my strategy and then I'll go, okay? In the David Pakman interview... Here, wait, hold on. I'll actually bring it up. So, I am not all of leftism. I am just one idiot. Leftism is bigger than me. Leftism will be here after I die. So my goal when I bring people over isn't just to make them like me, it's to make them like leftism. That's my broader goal.
Of the means of production. In a society in which every workplace is democratic, that is to say there's some, we need to do a lot of cultural work to take hold of a dead world. Whereas we do not have that kind of infrastructure established. They would be the ones to take power. In a but
instead of a socialist utopia, what would we most likely see?
Out, we're the biggest threat. So presentable to the threat of movements across. That's why we typically lose when societies which have become so nationalistic, that national system where we have sort of this into the writings of people like Engels and Lenin and Mao.
Yes.
Here we go.
In terms of their politics, do you see replacing Trump with Biden as a good thing? How good of a thing?
Oh, undeniably. This is something that I learned when I looked into the writings of people like Engels and Lenin and Mao.
Yes.
You see, socialists are, at least as I understand it, most comfortable making our arguments in a democratic or a bourgeois democratic system. That is to say, in a system where we have sort of this veneer of corporate democracy, where people expect things like rights and representation. You can make arguments like, hey, couldn't we be doing this better?
Okay, the reason why I did this specifically is because even though I personally don't really give a fuck what, I don't think theory is like the Bible or anything like that, but my goal here is that if I'm talking to liberals, I don't want them to just be well-disposed towards me. I want them to be well-disposed towards all leftists. And so by presenting people like Lenin and Mao and Engels in a light which, in a context which sort of validates the beliefs and perspectives of liberals, that it's important to replace Trump with Biden, I think in doing so, I pacify these people a little bit. Usually when people talk about shit like Mao, they're doing some like LARPy kill all landlord stuff. So by framing it in like a more reasonable text, I think that I sell the left a little bit better. And of course, I'm not lying. Everything that I said is true. I mean, from what I've read, those are positions they held, you know. Wait, what is this? Could you please call out Demon Mama Machine to have 1,000 YouTube subs to a better stream website? Hey, guys! We have a project that we need to do right now, okay? I need you all to go to youtube.com, and I need you to search Demon Mama in there. Friend of the stream, Demon Mama, currently streaming. Wait, live now?
Making fun of like sort of liberal pop.
Oh, yeah, currently streaming. Demon Mama, friend of the stream, is not capable of embedding a video into her website unless she can monetize her streams at 1,000 subs. So she needs 1,000 subs. Also, I enjoyed playing Among Us with her. Why aren't I subscribed to Demon Mama? I don't subscribe to anyone on this channel. Okay. We're at 900 now. 906. 953. And only updates every couple of seconds. 1.13K. It's 1,130. There you go, Reddit. Nicely done. Demon Mama's... Okay. All right. Oh, somebody earlier in chat said David Dole shouted me out. Is that true? David Dole covered my Tim Pool appearance. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I really need to get the... I never know. This always fucking... I don't know what do I say. Rational National David Dole. One or the other, whichever name. Need to get them on sometime soon. Okay, hold on. I'm dying over here. Trump was just shot at? Oh, God. All right. Oh, that's a Rickroll. Ah! Goodbye.